Welcome back to Flick Fights, everybody. The show where two movies enter and one movie leaves. I am Devon Vestal. With me as always is Nick 9. Nick, how's it going?
Pretty good.
Nobody stole your, I figured somebody stole your catalytic converter when we did a movie about catalytic converters, that somebody might just steal your whole fucking car when we do.
No, I think the catalytic converter is probably more valuable than the car, so.
That's with a Prius, probably. I don't know. In California, though, I feel like the aftermarket value on those is pretty high.
Yeah, all my surfboards are gone, though, so there's that.
This week we're doing, as you may have picked up on, finally, The Fast and the Furious versus Point Break, a movie where a undercover agent gets in with some extreme sports guys that have some criminal jobs but family values, and then we watch that again, but 10 years beforehand.
Yes.
I didn't realize they were 10 years exactly apart either. That's awesome.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess they're just like, and it's been 10 years, let's make that movie again.
Yeah, I'm waiting on another one. That's not just a remake of these two movies, because
yeah, no, I think there's like, okay,
the Point Break remake was terrible.
Oh god, yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing until I saw it coming up when I was just searching the film. But yeah, just certain things that you don't touch.
Well, see, that was the thing. They didn't even. I wouldn't have liked it regardless. You know, I would have went in biased. But they changed it entirely. They made the whole thing like, not that they're surfers. It was just that they like every extreme sport. So they're like skydiving, snowboarding, doing this, doing that. Like, it was not about surfing at all.
Yeah, I think me and my friend were like watched the whole thing, and like she hadn't seen the movie before, which is great. So I got to watch someone watch Point Break for the first time, which is as fun as watching Point Break. Like, what's going to happen next? I was like, you don't know? Even if you haven't seen the movie, you've seen 23 references to this movie.
Right.
But yeah, like I think like the preview for the next one came out, and like it was just like wingsuits, and I was just like, no.
Yep. Yeah, their whole motivation was being basically Robin Hood, and they're like dropping money over somewhere in South America, and I'm like, that's like, you just ruined the whole plot of the movie. You just abandoned it. So yeah, do not recommend. And I had somebody back in the day that was like, I like this better than the original. I was like, get out of my house. But if you're new to the show, please like and subscribe, share the episode, leave a comment of what matchup you might want to see or your opinions on this matchup. You can follow us on TikTok and Instagram. We do a Tale of the Tape first, where we match up the movies, go through the vitals, and we go through the plot briefly for each movie, and then we take them through 10 rounds and declare a winner. This may be the best definition of the show episode we've had to date, just because it's exactly the argument that happens.
It's the same plot. The hero has the same journey. There's like very similar plots and supporting characters and evil,
to the point that
ethnic
even
group.
Paul Walker reminds me of Keanu, like the way he talks and carries himself sometimes, a little surfer boy vibe, but I love it.
And I will say, does anyone have bluer eyes than Paul Walker had? Like,
I'm saying, man. Like, I put that in my notes right at the beginning when you hear somebody say, like, the guys are talking shit about him in the Tom shop, and he's like, I think he's pretty. I like his hair. And I'm like, he does have really blue eyes.
Yeah, no, it's like it's like luminous blue. It's weird. It's like it's like a fucking transformer with a fucking flashlight on the back of its head, and it's like, ding! It's the weirdest thing.
Yeah, if anybody was made to be a movie star, it was Paul Walker, and we lost him too soon.
Yeah, and like I said,
still
some
think
of the
that
things
might low-key be a conspiracy, but
some of the things he says in this movie were just like, that's enough to explode. I'm just like,
yeah.
A couple of other things were just like, the whole Dom's dad thing. I'm just like, oh,
yes.
God damn it.
What a tragedy. And honestly, watching Vin Diesel go through it made me even sadder. Some of the shit he said, I don't know that I believe, but I remember him telling a story on some show. I believe he's sad. I believe they were really close. But he was on some talk show where he was like, I went to go see his mother, and I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I feel so bad for you. My heart breaks for you. And she was like, why are you sad for me? You lost a brother. And I'm like, no, she didn't. That's her son.
Yeah.
I don't believe you, Vin. But with that, I don't think I missed anything. Let's go ahead and get into our Tale of the Tape. In our red corner, we have Fast and the Furious, released in 2001, directed by Rob Cohen. Budget was $38 million. Worldwide box office of $207.5 million. In 2001, that was a fucking killing. Runtime of 106 minutes. IMDb gave it a 6.8. Rotten Tomatoes 55% from the critics, 74% from the audience. Go fuck yourself, critics.
Yeah, I mean, it's a popcorn fuck yeah film, which the critics tend not to like.
I never would have expected the critics to give this anything higher than what it got. From critics' standpoint, it's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Rob Cohen also directed Dragonheart, Daylight, Triple X, and Stealth. I haven't seen those first two. Wait, I think I've seen Dragonheart.
Yeah, that's Sean Connery Dragon. I'm almost positive you've seen it. Yeah,
that. That makes sense. Triple X definitely made sense because it's another Vin Diesel movie.
Yep. Stealth was pretty good, I remember.
Yeah, I liked it. It doesn't get great reviews or mentions, but I thought it was okay.
It was fun, yeah.
Cool concept. Starring cast, which everyone should already know. Paul Walker, Vin Diesel, Michelle Rodriguez, basically it. Jordana Brewster, Rick Yoon, some other people in this movie, but that's the main three.
Right. And in the blue corner, we have Point Break, 1991. Director Catherine Bigelow. Budget $24 million. Worldwide box office of $83.5 million. Runtime of 122 minutes. God damn, like at one point I accidentally started the movie over and it took me so long to get back to where I was with fast forwarding. It's a long fucking movie.
Wait, why did you have to actually fast forward?
Just because I fucking skipped back to the whole thing and I had to go through the thing, and even at 5 times speed it still took fucking a minute.
I thought you meant you literally had to hit a fast forward button and sit there and wait. I'm like, Nick, it is 2026.
No, I'm old school, man. I've got Netflix running through my VCR. Fuck you. It's an engineering miracle. You don't understand. Yes, IMDb 7.3, Rotten Tomato critic score of 68%, and Rotten Tomato audience of 79. Which yet again, critics don't like fuck yeah movies.
Honestly, though, it's a little higher than Fast and Furious, but I thought maybe the critics would have been nicer to Point Break just because Gary Busey and shit, Patrick Swayze.
Yeah,
nope.
Nah.
I'm sure Roadhouse didn't get great reviews either, but that makes sense.
Exactly, yeah. It's like they're famous and well-loved movies, but they're not considered art.
Right.
Other notable films are Near Dark, Strange Days, Hurt Locker, and Zero Dark 30. I've seen the last 2 of those. I don't think I've seen the first 2.
Same.
Yep. Top billed cast, Keanu Reeves, and baby Keanu Reeves in this too. We get a little glimpse of older Keanu Reeves at the end of this, but
right.
Patrick Swayze, Lori Petty, Gary Busey, and John C. McGinley. And oh my God, Lori Petty, do you know what she was in most recently?
Mm-mm.
Have you seen Orange is the New Black?
Yes. Where is she in Orange is the New Black?
The short white-haired chick with the big-ass glasses.
Holy shit! Her voice is exactly the same! Yeah. Oh my God, I gotta tell Jess this!
That was my exact reaction. I was like,
holy shit! Man, she used to be a smoke show.
I know. That's what my friend was saying. He was like, oh, I'm so sorry. What?
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I love
Still
that.
She's
Actress, awesome. She's
an
awesome actress. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's.
I don't really like what they did to her in the end of this movie. We'll talk about it, but
yeah. But but it was kind of like that thing in Hook where it's like, Peter, there you are. What happened?
Seriously, man, she shrank. I think.
I know.
But yeah, they as far as ratings go, they're pretty close. Only a 5-point difference on IMDb, and audience score is roughly the same. I will say Point Break felt way longer than I.
Oh my God, dude! It was there was a few times really? What else do we have to do here?
Yeah, I finished Fast and Furious at 11 o'clock, and I looked at my schedule for the week. I was like, fuck it, I just got to watch the next one now. And then I started it, and I was like, no, dude, I have to finish this, but Jesus Christ.
It's and I don't even know what it is that made it so dense, because it moves, but
yeah, well, that's a good thing. But yeah, no, I mean, they drug out the,
I guess, well,
the way they do the reveal, get away, blah, blah, blah. It's packed into 15, 20 minutes in the Fast and Furious, and the Point Break, it's the last half of the movie.
Yeah, no, and also it's it kind of does that thing that oh God, which movie did we review? I forget which one that movie that was, but it's
the Hugh Jackman one?
Not the Hugh Jackman one, but it's basically it's where they're under the car, in that the maze. God damn, I can't remember what it was. Anyways, but it's basically a third of the movie is dedicated to going after a thing that means nothing at the end. So it's just yeah, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, it was, I mean, but they kind of did that in the 90s. It was a
I think
lot less,
we had more time.
Studios were more studios. There were definitely more of them. And, nobody gave a shit about runtime back then, it feels like. They were all around 2 hours.
That's what I'm noticing. Yeah, no, it's just, I mean, but like I said, we had more attention span, we had more time. Like,
Mhm.
you could go sit in a fucking movie theater for 2 hours and,
Right.
hour half there, half an hour there, half an hour back. Yeah, that's a
Plus,
Saturday.
you got to fill up the TNT channel on TV with movies. I'm positive this had to be on
Yeah.
TNT at some
Oh,
point.
100%. Yeah. Just cut out all the swears and, the
Yeah.
couple minutes of boobs, like in this.
All
Yeah,
right.
Keanu Reeves creeping out a lot of women in this one, but yeah.
Dude, yeah. I'm surprised there wasn't more tits in the Fast and the Furious, honestly.
I
But
know. Well,
it's
we
kind of
did
weird
have
how
a
that kind of went by the wayside. In the 80s and 90s movies, they're just like, here's some tits, just.
well, the thing, it's access. Like back then, it was like that was the only pair of boobs you could have seen for like the entire week. Like
Sure.
that was it. And now in like the 2000s, it's just like boobs.
Every boob ever, right
Yep.
now. Well, let's go ahead and dive into the plot of our Red Corner movie this week, The Fast and the Furious. We open on a truck full of Panasonic shit.
Yeah,
That,
the best tech that 2001 had to offer.
Yeah. Forgot how big they were. When you see them filling up the back of the truck, the boxes of the DVD players, I'm like, I don't remember them being a lot smaller, but maybe I'm crazy.
It's like literally like that. Like it's fucking like
Right.
fat boxes, like the TV combos.
It's like the whole
and
reason
shit.
you had to buy an entertainment center was because nobody had anywhere to put these fucking things.
I know. But that's just the funny thing. Is just like that's what these people are like potentially dying for is a fucking
Right.
CRTV DVD combo.
This escalates at a certain point to where they're like, the government's getting involved. I'm like, in what? Yeah, we open on this truck. A guy packing it up calls somebody and says, I got one coming your way. Don't forget my cut. And then we see glorious black Honda Civics with green underglow lights. And God, everyone had underglow lights after this movie.
Oh, dude, everyone had Honda Civics, man. Like fucking like 2/3 of my friends were driving fucking black Honda Civics after this shit. Like when
I don't think they had any idea that a short 5 years later, a Honda Civic would be a piece of shit. And so seeing them all done up in these movies still cracks me the fuck up. I mean, you can do it and make them awesome, but
Yeah,
that's not what
any car.
anybody we knew was doing. They were just going and buying Honda Civics.
Yeah.
But I do miss the days where everybody had underglow lights. Like, they
Yes.
made that illegal pretty quickly.
Oh,
And I
no,
still
so
think
annoying.
that's fucking lame.
Yeah, well, the cops didn't want to share their glowy light bits, so.
Right. Also see the move that we all dreamed of doing in traffic a million times where they drive underneath the semi and ride under it. Fucking love that.
Yep. No, this
Um,
movie is just like let your intrusive thoughts go in a car.
Everything you daydreamed about while you're riding in the back of your parents' car. I also love the sweet harpoon gun through the windshield. And several times in this movie, I'm like, if the truck driver just slammed on the brakes, he fucks their whole shit up. The car underneath him dies. The guy hanging onto a harpoon gun dies.
No, there's a few things like that, like when they're all like being jacked by. I think they were Taiwanese. Like they never really were expressly said what ethnic group of Asians they were. I think, but like,
I mean, they heavily imply Chinese, but
but
I
they
don't
never
know
say
that
it. And
for
they're
sure.
eating at a Taiwanese restaurant at one point. That's the only time I ever saw any kind of label on anything. So who fucking
Yeah.
knows? But we're just gonna say
Confucius.
Asian just to cover our fucking bases here. But like they're in the motorcycles. It's like, yeah, you tap your brakes, like 6 of them are dead.
Yeah. Yeah, you never see the faces of these people. They just like clockwork, shoot a harpoon gun into the truck, get into it, take it, and they have their
Which-
truck full of
Then the
Panasonic.
next time they do this, there's like, yeah, no, just like one of us will maybe put on a mask for a second. And,
Yeah, what the fuck is that about? They didn't try to hide shit. I mean,
No.
everything's fallen apart by then and everything, but it's still. Then we are introduced to Brian O'Connor, and this was a thing in the 2000s that I'm so glad died this quickly, but the shaky cam in this movie is fucking awful. Yeah. When
And, like,
we're
and the
like a
forced, like,
side
blur-
shot following Brian driving through a parking lot, and it's like, I'm like, is he even driving at this point? I don't know. Can't see shit.
It's like supposed to be looking at Paul Walker. There's a seagull.
It sucked. But he like spins out in the parking lot, gets all mad and says shit. And then the next scene is a classic line to the point that you can get this as your title in Rocket League, Tuna No Crust. By the way, Dick, I've been to several places where you can get a sandwich. Have you ever been given the option for them to remove the crust for you?
I mean, not since I was like 6. And they were like being real nice because I was like,
Right.
"Can I have with the crust?"
He goes into a place called Toretto's and says, tuna on white, no crust. And this is also where you meet Mia. And this is the first time I ever paused and like looked at the kitchen in this place. I'm like, what is this fucking place? You got like a convenience store to the left of her. The kitchen consists of like a cold sandwich bar and some
the
random
bodega's
seasoning and
restaurant.
shit.
It's
And
the
that's it.
weirdest thing, yeah. It's one of those places where like you walk into it and like, oh, this is a front for something.
Right.
There's a few places around me where it's like, the place is open till 2 a.m. It's been open for 15 years, and I've never seen more than 3 people in it, and it's always the same 3 people. That's like some kind of mafia.
If you go into this one, you're like, the sandwiches barely sandwiches, and there's a giant muscly guy in the back with shotguns on the wall. And then we meet the crew. They all pull up in their street racing cars one by one, and they do a pan up on Michelle Rodriguez, where the first thing you see is her boots. And holy fucking shit, her boots are hilarious. They're like made out of metal. Just fantastic 2000s rave culture.
Yeah, we knew to know she's a badass just by looking at her. Because I guess we didn't understand what every character Michelle Rodriguez has ever taken is about.
She didn't have a super lot of lines in this one. I remembered her being a lot more involved in this movie than she was.
Yeah, no, she's just kind of Dom's girlfriend and has like one race and quips a couple of times, and that's about it.
Right. They get out, and I'm going to tell you now, I don't know a shitload about cars, but I've seen people talk about these scenes in this movie. And he gets out and just says a whole bunch of nonsense about cars. He says your fuel map has a hole in it. That's why you're dumping in third. Again, I don't know what's wrong with that, but I know it's wrong.
Yeah, tell us why we're wrong. But yeah, no, I know nothing about cars, and even my fucking bullshit meter was going off. It had very like fucking like multimodal flux capacitor, like Star Trek feel to it. Because we're gonna say some things really quickly that most people won't understand, and the people that do aren't gonna be able to explain why we're wrong fast enough for like the scene.
Everybody that got really into cars after the Fast and the Furious, probably like 10 months later, was like, wait a minute, everything they said was bullshit. I haven't heard any of those terms while I've been doing this. They go inside. Vince is the asshole of the crew. Immediately has a problem with Paul Walker being there.
Yeah, God, there's like no redemption for him at any point in the movie. There's never any point where he's like, I accept you as friendly,
right?
Friends.
But he was right. He was right the entire fucking time.
Right
Poor
the entire
Vince.
time.
Yeah, this is the part I was talking about where it shows the other two guys standing there like pretend looking at sunglasses. They're like, wow, he's beautiful.
Yeah.
He is beautiful. But he tells him, go to Fat Burger next time. You can get a burger and fries for $2.95. And I'm like, God, I miss the 2000s.
I know. Dude, I watched Clerks again recently, and fucking like these cigarettes in the back are like $1.95. I'm just like,
yeah.
God, don't look at that. Don't look at that.
But Paul Walker starts walking away, says some shit as he leaves, and him and Vince get in a fight, and that's where Dom enters the movie. Mia starts banging on the walls like, Dom, go take care of this. And he looks out and sees some fight. He's like, what'd you put in that sandwich? And every time he walks in a hurry in this movie, it looks weird.
It's like a thumb walking very aggressively.
He goes out and throws Brian on the ground and pushes Vince back, and he's like, he was in my face. He's like, I'm in your face.
Oh, God. This whole movie reminded me of those. You ever seen the American Dad, like Fast and the Furious episode?
I think so, yeah.
Like, so they find the script to the next Fast and the Furious movie, like a crash plane in the forest, but like it's like full of gay stuff between Brian and Dom.
Yes, I have.
And it's like the entire time I was watching this, I'm like, yeah, that totally fucking tracks.
Oh, yeah. There's a few parts in this movie where I'm like, just kiss. Like, what? He says, you work for Harry, right? You just got fired. And then he goes back to Harry's where he's scolding him, and he's like, kids love Dom. Every time they see him race, they want every part he has. He's like fully crashing out, like unnecessary amount. The whole time Brian's talking, he's just like, oh, God.
I know. Well, yeah, it's like we find out later why he's kind of caught between a rock and a hard place and shit. Yeah, but like he's just like, well, am I fired? He's like, of course you're not fucking fired. It's like,
He says, I need NOS, one of the big ones, make it 2. And then we go to street race night, and I love this scene. It opens with Rollin' by Limp Bizkit. You got a Mortal Kombat logo on one of the cars. Ja Rule is playing. And in the movie,
God, yeah, no, that was one thing in the end too. Was like I always used to talk shit about like rappers like saying like the name and the date of the song like when like they're starting. Then it's like Ja Rule 01. I'm like, I know exactly who wrote this and when it was written. All right, I'm sorry.
Nobody else sounds like you, Ja Rule. But this made me miss the aughts a lot. Seeing all this in one scene. And then Hector's in it as Hector, like he is in every movie. And he's like, "This your car?" He's like, "I'm standing by it, isn't it?" One of a billion throwaway horrible lines where he says, "It's not."
Hector's actually being like really like welcoming and kind.
Yeah, he's the nicest person in the movie by a long shot. But he says, "It's not how you stand by a car; it's how you race it." Ja Rule actually says that. Like wise words, Ja. Michelle Rodriguez comes up and might be one of her only lines in the movie, does the I smelled skanks when girls are talking to Dom. Brian goes up to them, says, I don't have cash, but I have my pink slip. If I win, I take the cash and the respect. And everybody else laughs like it's kind of corny, and Vin Diesel kind of doesn't laugh. And I was like, I get it.
God, I swear to God, this started like I've known people that lost cars to fucking races, and I think this movie fucking like started so much shit that I don't know if it existed beforehand.
It definitely did. My small town in the Midwest, people were finding places in our cities near us to go drag race, taking it so insanely seriously. It was hilarious. I remember my buddy Austin had one of those tiny ass little Hyundais that are like 5 feet long, and that was his street racing car. It was bad. Got a spoiler on it and everything. So they set up for the street race.
Yeah, Paul overshoots the line.
Yeah. I like the line, streets closed, pizza boy, find another way home. And that guy, the pizza driver's like, goddamn street racers driving away.
Yeah.
I'm like, give that guy a fucking Oscar. That was great.
He did everything he could with that line.
I also like that when they're setting up the race, he's listening to the scanner and they hear a 187 in Glendale and they're like, all right, 187. Oh, Jesus Christ. Somebody got murdered.
Yeah, and I think at the starting line, Ja Rule just some random chick come up to him and just put her titty in his hand and be like, if you win, like you lose, you get me, but if you win, you get both of us, and like points over to another girl. So he has the greatest motivation to win this race, and
right,
it didn't help.
I put the exact same line. She puts her tit in his hand.
Yeah, like, I've never seen that particular move before. It's always hand to tit, not tit to hand.
I like that they're all eye fucking the shit out of each other, by the way, but the Asian dude is just playing Gran Turismo 2 in his car. That was awesome.
Vibing.
I played the shit out of that game, so I recognized it immediately.
Oh yeah.
But then commence the longest quarter mile on Earth ever recorded, because I do love the effects. Like, it propels you through space-time when you use NOS in this movie.
Yes.
How it stretches out the street and it, like, starts lighting up. I loved that effect.
Yeah, the sound of the cars going as you're going past them. Which, like, there's good... Like, I remember one thing I noticed, too, which is, like, they do it a few times, but, like, basically the camera will be following the car, then, like, hit the car, and then becomes, like, inside the car. It's, like, this kind of... And
the animation of when the NOS goes through the engine. I always thought that was super cool.
It's a little rough nowadays, but still, for the time, not bad.
Yeah. As soon as they take off, Ja Rule thinks he's doing all right. He just goes, Menage! Fucking Ja Rule. His Brian's floorboard starts falling the fuck out. It's apparently made of pure steel, which I don't think is good on a racing car. But
yeah. Well, he loses it, then he starts fucking going faster, so he's in a speed hole now, so...
He uses up all his NOS, passes Dom. Dom says, too early or some shit like that, and then uses his, he wins. And then
which is which is a lot of the races in this, but at least Dom's got like inside it's like inside the fucking like emergency light button.
Right, that was cool.
Out.
Yeah, he like flips out the they all got really cool shit in their cars. That again, between this and Pimp My Ride and all that shit, people had dumb shit in their cars when I was growing up.
Oh dude, no, I fell down a rabbit hole recently where this guy basically like his whole YouTube channel is going and finding out what happened to the Pimp My Ride cars.
Mm-hmm. It's hilarious.
Yeah, because like so many of them are just
SUVs with water damage from the hot tub they put inside of it.
Yeah, it's like I mean the 4-cylinder like panel van can't really handle 7 tons of fucking electronics in it. It's not going up hills anymore.
It was always stupid. Even when I was a kid watching it, I'm like, I'd be pissed if you put that in my car. A fucking fondue machine.
Beyond that, so many got stolen apparently right afterwards because like the show would air. Then it's like, well, there's a really cool car right there that we can go fucking steal.
Yeah. She was dumb. Brian's car starts completely falling apart, limps to the winner's circle.
Yep.
Ja Rule tries to collect on the deal this girl gave him, and she immediately shuts him down.
Yeah, it's like, you told him win or lose, he lost.
Yeah, when he loses, he goes, Monica, no! Awful actor.
Well, he leaves the movie after that, so we're fine. But
right, you get one of the most iconic scenes of the movie where he walks up and he's grinning. He's like, "What are you smiling about?" He's like, "Dude, I almost had you." And everybody starts laughing, and then Dom starts walking around and riffing to these car people and says, "You never had me. You never had your car." And this is some more car bullshit where he says you were granny shifting, not double clutching. And I'm like, I don't know if any of that's real. I know double clutching is. I don't know what the fuck granny shifting is.
It's like you blew out your O-rings and I'm going to have to replace now. I'm just like, okay.
That's not that big of a deal. He says, it don't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning is winning in any real race. racer knows that. Cheers. And then they go, cops, 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 go! And then I'm like, this is 200 people in their 30s and 40s all running from the police.
Yeah. And, he dips up this parking structure, which yet again, like this entire night is like, been there. I want to say 60% of the scenes in these movies I have walked across those places at one point.
Especially in the Fast and the Furious, it's a lot of like neighborhoods and shit they're going to.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, specifically the one he goes up is like this really famous parking garage in Santa Monica that was made by some famous ass architect. Architect's got all this bullshit in the walls, and I just used to smoke a lot of weed in there.
He has possibly the smoothest getaway that doesn't work because nobody else looks like him.
Yeah, it's like, look, there's a thumb. Get him.
Yeah, he walks out with his jacket on, cop drives by, and he just slams on the brakes and goes, tomato.
Just on site, like, shit. He's so like, it's like watching a sausage run. It's just really weird. There's like no like side to side motion. Like,
yeah, he does not. He's not a good runner. Brian picks him up as he's running through an alley and saves him. And immediately I'm like, why are his feet not Flintstoning out of the missing floorboard?
He went and picked it up, I guess.
Little continuity error, I guess. But
I don't know, Vin Diesel's short enough that it was just kind of like dangling.
There's the camera angle where you just see his feet kicking under the car. He's like, I got a new friend. But I will say, when they get away, and then they're talking for a little bit. And Brian does a really good job with his undercover work here because he's like, some pretty good driving for somebody without a record or anything. He's like, did you used to boost cars? Were you a getaway driver? All this shit. And he's just like, no, I didn't do that. And then he's like, that's weird because we looked you up and found you were in juvie for boosting cars. And he looks at him like, oh my God. So they made a fake record for his fake name, and he lied about it. That was pretty good undercover work.
Oh, dude, the undercover work in this is so much better than Point Break, where it's just like, here's who I actually am.
Yeah. Yeah, for real. But the way he plays it off, like somebody would probably try and hide their criminal record. I don't know that they would try to hide it from a street racer, but, cool. It was cool. Instead of just being like, yeah, I used to boost cars.
Yeah, you had to pry it out of him. And then like a bunch of motorcycles just like fucking encircle the entire car.
Yeah, I guess they never realized they were in Chinatown, but it's a huge deal apparently. Vin Diesel does have a throwaway line here where he says he did 2 years and he'll die before he goes back.
Yep.
But yeah, the Yakuza pulls up on crotch rockets. The most Chinese-looking set they could use, which was a Chinese restaurant, is where they pull into. That also has like 1 billion Confucius statues, I guess.
Yeah, it's weird.
I also love, it's like 20 or 30 guys pull up on motorcycles, and they all get off, take their helmets off, and for like 10 whole seconds, everyone is adjusting their hair. They talk a little shit. He's, see you in the desert next month. I got something special for you. And then they leave and then come back to blow up the car. I'm like, why did you even leave? What was the point of that?
I don't know, plausible deniability, I guess. It's like, well, you don't know who did it because we have masks on now. But yeah, they shoot at the car, and then he's like, the nose! And then there's like a really cool secondary blue explosion.
Yeah.
Which, yeah.
Yeah, when they're leaving, he was like, what was that about? He's like, bad business deal, and I slept with his sister. And then they show up at Dom's house. He tells them he can come in, and they're all just partying. Letty's even sitting there just playing video games. And another thing here that I fucking hate, and I've always hated, is when Vince is in the corner playing on that sweet-ass Zakk Wylde guitar, what he's doing on the guitar is not the noises that they're making in the movie. And
so
also, the noises they're making is nothing. It's just boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, why wouldn't you at least make it something cooler? Make all these fake noises when he shuts it off and everything, too. It was terrible.
We also see when he comes into, like, Mia's, like, looking from the top window, and it's like, shit, and just, like, goes and, like, starts, like, doll herself up.
It was adorable, yeah. He walks in and immediately gets pissed because everybody's just chilling, and then he's like, why'd you bring the buster? And he's like, because the buster kept me out of cuffs. I love that part. Takes his beer from him and gives it to Brian, and he, like, eyeballs him while he wipes off the top of it, drinks it in front of him. And
oh, yeah, dude, what is it? Dude, Vince, like, his entire movie is just like, fucking Brian. Just give him the fucking stink eye, like, the entire fucking film.
I can't blame him. I mean, especially when you find out he's fucking right, dude.
Yeah. Oh no, but dude, then there's like a point where like I think they're in the kitchen, like Mia and Brian.
Oh,
And,
that was brutal.
oh, dude, I'm just like, are you trying to get this man to like kill him? Like,
You're right.
What the fuck, dude? Like you are stirring the shit pot hard, me. Oh my god. But yeah, she's like, it's like, hey, Victor, like, or Vincent, what's that place that you really wanted to take me on a date? Like that. And she's like, starts describing. He's like, so you go cha cha cha. He's like, you can take me to cha cha cha. Over to Brian. I'm just like, I'm surprised you didn't stab him right there.
Yeah.
This is like playing with matches around dynamite. This is not a good fucking idea.
Yeah, it was the coldest shit I've ever seen. I don't know how I would recover from that if that happened to me.
That's it, man. I don't think he even tries to hit her again after that. He's just like completely fucking wind cut out from his sails, dude.
I also like they're all sucking up to him so hard, and he's trying to piss off Letty. He's like, "What girls are here?" And he's like, "Oh, there's lots of girls. You want mine? You can have mine." And I'm like, "Jesus Christ, guys. You can cuck me, Dom.
Please. Actually, right now, let's go."
He goes upstairs with Letty and says, "You owe me a 10-second car." And then Vince says to Brian, "Did you wipe the seat?" Pulls a gun. And I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Next scene is Brian getting quote unquote pulled over. They tell him, "Put your hands on your head, walk backwards towards the car," and everything. And this is where he meets the sergeant for his undercover case that is played by Buffalo Bill. That's all I will ever know him as.
Yep. I know him as the thug from Flubber, but yeah, also Buffalo Bill.
The thug from Flubber. That's probably his most prized role.
Probably got paid the most for that one. That's Disney money.
The cops have set up shop in a confiscated house that's like an amazingly beautiful house. And,
yeah, it's like a Frank Lloyd Wright house. It's like there's this like fucking bridge over the pool that every time I look at it, like I'm dying by hitting my head on that fucking thing drunk one day and drowning. That's how I die if I live in this house.
They say something about you blew up an $80,000 car, and this is where they go on their speech about like, we're getting a lot of pressure to solve this because truckers are going to start arming themselves and dealing with this themselves. Said with this last one, they're up to a grand total of $6 million from 4 trucks. And I was like, fucking, how much? What? That's how much DVD players were worth?
6 million in DVD players. Like nowadays, like I don't think like if you put all the DVD players remaining in the world together, I don't think that's $6 million.
Right? Like that was crazy numbers. And then, he says, we're in the political crosshairs now. I'm like, what fucking politics are involved in the DVD theft?
The fucking Panasonic lobby? Like, what the fuck?
It was fucking crazy.
And also, like, the truckers are going to start arming themselves? Like, motherfucker. Right. Like, I assume there's a shotgun or a small arsenal, at least in every single semi I pass.
And they say it the whole time, like, they're in negotiations with the truckers. Like, please don't take a gun. They're like, we're going to take guns. Like, what do you mean? Where are you hearing this from?
Yeah, the truckers union just said we're going to bust a cab in their ass next time. I don't fucking know, man.
They said, we're running out of time. We need a bus now. So they're like, you got to figure somebody we can bust. They show him pictures or whatever. Talk about how Toretto did time for beating a guy to death, which becomes important later. And he says, I need another car. And then it shows him show up to Dom's shop with an absolute piece of shit on the back of the truck.
Yeah, completely busted. It's like, did you ever have that like program when you were in high school? Like they brought like a fucking car that like killed someone in the drunk driver. It looks like one of those cars. Yeah,
exactly. There's even still a beer can in the back windshield. Yep. You couldn't take that out before you brought it over here. And I always loved Jesse. He's like, this car will decimate after $15,000. I'm like, well, any car would probably decimate after $15,000.
I would decimate after $15,000 of fucking gear put into me. I could probably take that race on.
And this is where you get one of the worst editing scenes I sent to you, where they do the editing so bad sometimes that it cuts mid-sentence to a part where Jesse isn't talking. Like,
Japan.
Fucking bad.
Yeah, we get like a little blurb with Jesse here, and it's like, okay, Jesse's 100% on the spectrum. That's cool. Yeah. It's like math and everything like really made a lot of sense to me, but like I couldn't figure out everything else. And then I found like that one thing that really made sense to me, and I just obsessed about that now. I'm like, okay, Jesse, that's okay. We love you anyways. It's fine, buddy. You're among friends here.
He even says, I got the attention. I'm like, you know what it's called. But they say we'll work on this car for Race Wars, and then Mia's like, he owns you now.
God, every time I heard that, it's just like, is that intentional? Because every car group is just like a race. Like we have like the Asians, the Mexicans, the black guys, the white guys, whatever the fuck Dom is.
I made a note here that I get Ja Rule's in the movie, but literally every other song is a fucking Ja Rule movie.
Yeah,
Life
that's
Ain't a
why
Game
he's in the
starts
movie.
playing.
He's just like, I want to be in the movie.
It's like 50 Cent punked me the fuck out. I need something. That's where, this is where you get the conversation with Jess, where he's like, you should be in MIT, blah, blah. Vince shows up for the cookout. This is a staple of the Fast and Furious franchise, as the cookout. He shows up, sees Brian, leaves. Jesse says grace and thanks God for car parts, and then Vince comes back immediately.
Yep. Just throws a little tantrum, like, comes back and just.
He's like, I gotta eat. I'm like, are they not paying you, Vince? And then he kisses Dom on the head. And I'm like, gay. This is gay.
Yeah.
You guys are gay. Just be gay.
No, like I said, like this is like that long tradition of like very unintentionally homoerotic action movies.
Mm-hmm. And then they have a movie night together. I'm like, what is this relationship?
Yeah, it's like instantly like being welcomed into the family.
And this is where you get the scene where Brian's helping me with dishes. Vince comes in and they destroy his entire world.
Yeah, just the whole, basically it's like, Farm's the restaurant that he's been like trying to take her out to for years, and it's like, Brian's gonna take you there now. Fuck
He looks
off.
so happy. He's like,
yeah.
She's like, it's
no,
got the candles and the poor bastard, man.
Yeah, no, it's the epitome of you have raised my hopes and dashed them quite expertly, so well done.
Then Hector brings in a list of parts to Brian and says, I need 3 of everything for Race Wars. He pulls it up and sees all the parts are for Honda Civics. Makes a note of that. Next scene is him sneaking into a warehouse. He gets caught immediately.
Yeah. I guess Dom and Vincent were following him or something. I don't fucking know how they're just there. Like,
he comes up with a pretty good lie immediately and says it's because he needs to scout out for Race Wars because I can't lose another race, Dom. I'm like, why though? Like, why are you saying that like it's life or death?
I mean, you might lose another car, but yeah, it's like, what's your stakes here?
Right. And this is where I've seen this 100 times in meme culture where somebody will comment this exact line from this movie when it has nothing to do with the post. And we're like, I don't know, but what I do know is Hector's going to be running 3 Honda Civics with spoon engines at Race Wars. I had to look this up. That is a real thing, but to me it always sounded like a bunch of horse shit spoon engines, but apparently that's a company that makes like better aftermarket engines in Japan, but yeah. And then Vince is like, he's a cop. And I'm like, poor Vince. He was right this entire time. He's still, after all that, like, no, he's a cop.
No, he's even good too. He's like, you move like a cop. I'm like, God damn, Vince, that's some good fucking insight.
And then they're like, let's go for a little ride. And he straight up asked him, are you a cop? And this was the stupid old fable that permeated the 2000s where if they ask you if you're a cop, you can't say no, which isn't true. But he just shakes his head. He doesn't actually say no.
Yeah, no, I think that's a fucking lie that was spread by cops. Like,
1,000%. In what universe? What the people that believe that blew my mind. I'm like, you think every undercover agent could have their
I'll
whole...
get you next time. Oh, you scamp. Like,
that's all it took to blow apart all these massive undercover operations.
It's like saying Mr. Mixelplex's fucking name backwards.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, I'm done. You got me. Them's the rules.
So he takes him to go break into Johnny Tran's garage. Jesse tells him Johnny's coming. And then we watch Johnny Tran fill their fence full of oil because he stole their engine. I also like little side plot here. The sergeant, Buffalo Bill, is super invested in Brian's quitting smoking for some reason.
Yeah. He's like, give me a cigarette. It's like, I thought you quit. It's like, I did. It's like, give me a cigarette. It's like, okay. It's like, no, don't give him a fucking cigarette. I'm like, fuck you, dude. Give him a goddamn cigarette.
A random guy makes some comment about getting off to Mia's pictures, and he beats the shit out of him. And that's when they're like, you going native on me, Brian? And he says, I just need a few more days. Don't bust anybody yet. Like, don't bust the agents just yet. And
this is where we found out about the face beating, right? I think.
Yeah, they show pictures of the guy Dom beat up, and you still don't know why yet. But they're like, he's a monster. Like, be careful with him. He's not your buddy. It shows them putting the car together, finishing up, and he's like, you got any plans tonight, Brian? He's like, I'm going to dinner. And he says, you break her heart, I break your neck. And then he shows him the Beast, the GTO judge that is the general. It is the car that was the general in Dukes of Hazzard, apparently.
Oh, shit.
But that's where he tells a story that has so much torque it twisted off the line when it raced. My dad drove it. It scares me. Guy clipped his bumper on the pro stock circuit and killed him. And then later, Dom saw him in public while he was holding a wrench and beat the shit out of him. And that was the pictures he saw.
Yep.
That's where he does a whole speech about I live my life a quarter mile at a time. So corny, but I still love it. Then we get a montage of simultaneously a truck jacking happening / Dom is fucking Letty.
Yep.
And they're moving on. They move on Johnny Tran, and they play "Dope" by Debonair during the scene, and I love that song. I love the soundtrack of this movie, but badass music. Car raid, fucking in a garage. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Also, Brian has banged Mia at this point.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. He wakes up, gets a call that we're gonna move on Johnny. If you agree, just say yes. And then she pops up behind him. He's like, yes.
Back to sex.
I was also like, why did you fucking take Mia to the back of the place you work at instead of like a room? You're like, it's barely out of the storefront where they're at.
Yeah. Someone's looking for a carburetor. They're just seeing everything.
They bust Johnny Tran. He gets like slapped in front of his family. His dad slaps him in front of the family while he gets arrested. And I'm like, they're doing they're trying to hide Brian's face, like with the mask and everything. I'm like, why'd you even bring Brian? Like,
dude, no, it's like, I don't care if you hide his face. I'm like, dem eyes. I know dem eyes.
He's not wearing the goggles or anything. It sticks out. But then afterwards, the cops, the head cop, Bilkins or whatever his name is, says the DVD players were illegal. All we have on them is a couple of weapon charges. And then like looks at Brian and he's like, no way you put this on me. Which fair, because he said don't do it.
Yep.
He basically says I'm in charge. I get to put the shit on whoever I want. And I'm like, great logic.
And he basically says like, I don't care if you have to burn your fucking cover, get a motherfucker, you have 36 hours.
Right, yeah. And then he's like, you know it's Toretto. Like, you keep dancing around this, but you know it's them. I know you're probably lying to yourself because you fallen for Mia. And he says, there's all kinds of family, Brian. It's a choice you have to make. And, yeah. Sergeant in this movie is relatively cool when he's positive that he is, quote-unquote, going native.
Yes. I mean, he doesn't go quite as native as fucking Keanu does in Point Break. Because Keanu's just like, this is me now. And fucking Point Break, but he does go pretty fucking native pretty quick. And I would argue in the 8 or 9 movies that preceded, he went even more native. So.
Oh, definitely. Definitely, yeah. Well, in the second one, he's still a cop, so I don't know. I think he gives up after the second one. I don't know. But the RX-7 is done. They race a random douche and his girlfriend and then go get lunch together. They go on a little lunch date by the ocean side.
Yep. And like I mentioned to Devon before we started this, but that particular restaurant is called Neptune's Net in Malibu. And it's the same restaurant they go to in Point Break. So, yeah, these are the same movie.
That's awesome. For us, I would never notice something like that. But for everybody that lives there, I wonder, I imagine it gets kind of old that you see the same places.
Oh, yeah, no. It's just everything happens in like the same fucking like 5 square miles. Like I should be seeing explosions, aliens, and werewolves like fucking every time I go outside.
But he tells Dom, he starts playing it up real well that he's in a bad mood and it's because he needs money. He's like, I need a side job like you. And he's like, what do you mean like me? He's like, whatever you're in on, I want in on it. And he's like, we'll see how you do at Race Wars, and then we'll talk.
He's like, you're not paying for all this with shitty tuna sandwiches.
Right. Which he's right. And there's like never any business at Dom's shop. So
no.
And then we're at Race Wars. And it's funny how this is like, a bunch of criminals and badasses, but they have like security here. It's kind of like Coachella the way it's set up.
Everyone's got their numbers and registered, and it's very official.
It also kind of seems wildly unorganized. Like you kind of just walk around challenging people to races. Because Letty races this random dude for $2,000 or her pretty little ass. Every other dude in this movie is the worst actor.
Yep.
And I put also apparently only main characters have access to NOS in this world because she hits the NOS, he doesn't have any. And I'm like, well, that's not fair. Jesse's racing for pink slips. Apparently doesn't know who he's racing yet. And this is also apparently his dad's car, the Jetta. And then Johnny Tran pulls up and he loses badly and then freaks out and just leaves. Which cracked me up. He just keeps driving away.
Also, right before this, too, I didn't know we have a PG-13 wet t-shirt contest.
Oh, yeah.
For like 2 seconds. Just like slip that one in there right into the fucking censors.
A wet t-shirt contest where you only see one girl and a bunch of dudes just standing around like, yeah. Like, you're not safe. You need to leave. Johnny gets pissed that he left, freaks out, and he says, also, somebody ratted on me. You know what? It was you. And then he gets his ass beat.
Yeah, dude, it's like not even like it's most of the time they'll give him like, like a little back and forth, but yeah, like he just gets taken down by a man like a straight up foot shorter than him.
And he gets pulled off twice and then keeps beating the shit out of him.
Yeah.
He's like, I never knocked on nobody. I'm like, you're kind of making a case though that you did because you're reacting really poorly to this.
It's like that's like screaming I'm not crazy. It just kind of like counteracts your argument a little bit.
Then it's nighttime. And Brian sees out the back of Mia's trailer that she's begging Dom and the gang not to go do something. And he immediately tells her he's a cop. And I'm like,
Yep.
dude, you couldn't come up with a better story than that yet?
Yeah. It's classic folding under zero pressure. It was...
Exactly. You've done so well at lying so far. Why was this the thing? Yeah. And I put, surprisingly, she doesn't take it well.
Yeah. Dude, he even like, dude, I heard Dom was going to do some really stupid shit. Are you in on this? No. Well, let's stop him. Like, you could have done anything.
Right.
Like, fucking... She
But
was so
she's clearly
desperate
in
to
love with
fucking-
you.
yeah.
You could have pulled that angle too. And yeah. But yeah, immediately tells her everything. Tells her everyone is cracking down on them. Truckers are going to have guns now. And he's like, let's get in the car and I need you to take me to him. And they really over dramatize this part where he's calling it a cell phone trace for Dom.
Yep.
And he's like, looked back at her like 17 fucking times. He's like, there's a special agent, Brian O'Connor. Like
Oh, no, dude. The amount of, like, not looking where you're fucking going. I mean, it does pay off at a point with not looking where you're going near the end. But,
right.
yeah, the amount of, like, people, like, going fucking, like, 100 miles an hour. Like, yeah, so I had, like, a sandwich last Tuesday. It was pretty good. Like, well, fucking, I hate that shit, dude.
They actually do a thing of that in Fast and Furious 2 where he drives and looks at the girl the entire time without looking at the road. That's like his hitting on her, I guess. But
I'd just be terrified and want to get out of the car.
yeah. So they get a trace on the phone. He shows Dom and everybody, and they're all saying something feels off. We shouldn't be doing this without Jesse. And he says, this is the mother lode we've been waiting on. After this, vacation for 3 months for DVD players. I want to remind
Yes,
everyone,
and
for DVD
CRTVs.
players. And then it's go time, and there's nothing on the scanners. They hit it with the harpoon gun, and again, I put if the trucker just hit the brakes, Vince would die. And
Which
he
kind of
jumps,
is what happens.
well, in a shotgun, and like the Passion of the Christ level gore on his arm.
Yep.
He jumps onto the roof and immediately starts getting shot at with the shotgun. And then, yeah, he does slam on the brakes. And he, like, flies around. His arm's getting all wrapped up in the harpoon, getting tore up. And apparently they had to cut a whole bunch of footage of his arm because they were going to give them an NC-17 rating because of how gory it was. And I'm like, there is no way it was that bad.
Yeah, no.
Not in the age Saw was coming out. Letty wipes out. Mia takes a wheel for Brian. They come up to the car, and he's trying to save Vince, so she takes the wheel while he jumps over, grabs Vince, untangles him.
Yeah, throws him in the car.
And
We're
then,
all able to stop. Yeah. He's like dying. I guess he also took like a shotgun blast to the abdomen at some point. Not
yeah, I
sure
missed that because at first I thought it
exactly
was
when that
just his
happened.
arm, and I'm like, I think he's going to be okay.
Yeah. No, I guess like he was like through the door or something, but like
Yeah.
I never really saw when the exact hit happened. It was kind of unclear. But yeah, he's like, yep, we need an ambulance in 10 minutes. So he calls in a medevac chopter, and Dom is just fucking like staring daggers at him the whole time. Yeah.
And again, like it just gave up way too quickly, the whole facade. Also, what is MAPD? Do you know?
Miami Area Police Department, maybe? I don't
Yeah,
know.
but they're in LA, so I don't know. I didn't know if you knew what that meant, but
Yeah.
that's what he says. He's from MAPD. And then they all sit there and wait with Brian while a helicopter picks up Vince. And again, I'm like, poor fucking Vince. He said, this doesn't feel right. He said, Brian's a cop.
Moral of the story, we should have listened to Vince the entire time.
Yeah. Helicopter gets Vince, and then Dom and the gang go to take off, and they have a little part where Mia's like looking at them, looking at Brian, looks back and forth, and then eventually goes with Dom. Brian shows up at Dom's and immediately pulls a gun on him.
Yep. Dom has a gun too, but doesn't pull it.
Yeah.
Apparently, he's like, I need to look for Jesse. And then, like, Jesse just goes, "Eh." I'm like, that's narratively convenient.
Right. And the way they start doing these like pan zooms and everybody, if you hadn't seen it before, you're like, something awful is about to happen.
Yep. Yeah, and Jesse's like, I'm so fucking scared. Then just fucking drive by and just everything, like Jesse gets hit, everything gets hit, no one else gets hit.
Yeah, and it's on crotch rockets, so you know it's the Asians. And yeah, he's bleeding out, dying. Dom's crying and goes to jump in the beast. And again, his hurry walk is hilarious. Brian's like, stop this, it's over. And he is like, I need to go get revenge. Go fuck yourself. So Brian hops in the car, starts chasing, and then Dom also leaves. Dom knocks Lance off his bike, leaves him
Yeah, we get
alive, and Brian shoots Tran.
Yeah, it's some fucking stormtrooper level accuracy too from the fucking like triad too. They're just like,
He does pull a sweet move here though, where he skids the car sideways and then just perfectly boom, just knocks him off the bike, which is good because he's an agent, like he should have accuracy with a pistol, but kills him immediately. And then sees Dom pull up, see it, and then start driving away. And he chases him, and they pull up next to each other and profess their love for each other, and then they go get married.
yeah, pretty much.
That's what should have happened. Instead, he gives a little speech about how he used to drag race here, and that railroad right there is exactly a quarter of a mile. I'm green, I'm going for it. And then, for no reason that I will ever understand, Brian's just like, okay, let's race. I'm like, why?
Yep.
For what?
That'd be like,
Perfect
yeah, at the end of
cinematic
Point
timing.
Break, like surf off. Like it's just like I don't. It's just the time, really. But I guess no. You gotta go back to like Lethal Weapon. It's just like, yeah, we just have to have that like one last like between the two main villain antagonist characters, whatever.
Yeah,
and everyone's
and it
just gonna
was
let him do
cool
it.
seeing they do a wheelie. I don't like the weird slow-mo shots they do where it's not really slow-mo. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. The shots are like fading into each other. It's strange. But then a train's coming, and apparently Brian just has an endless supply of NOS because he still has NOS.
Yeah, I guess he just fills up every time he goes to the gas station.
I guess.
Like, the gas and the
This
NOS
shit's not
station.
cheap, dude. Like,
No.
he's running Harry into the fucking ground. The beast starts falling apart. They both beat the train, though, and then they smile at each other.
Yeah, then they look at each other, and then like Dom looks like.
It ironically gets T-boned by a fucking semi.
Yeah, just fucking flips the fucking general fucking like at like 110 miles an hour or some shit. Like they had not slowed down yet. Like he should be dead.
Right. And I will say Vin Diesel acts the shit out of being hurt. This is like the most convincing, like, I'm fucked up the scene I've seen in one of these movies, because he's barely speaking. He's just like
Yeah, like I believe the dislocated shoulder.
Yes. Yep. They make a lot of prolonged eye contact.
Yeah, this is one of those like kiss him,
Exactly.
kiss him.
And they're so close together. And then Brian just hands Dom his keys. He's like, you know what you're doing? He's like, I owe you a 10-second car. And I, as dumb as it is, I love it. I love the fucking end of the movie. He just drives away. You get an after credit scene where Dom's in Baja driving a black and red Chevelle through the desert and says, I live my life a quarter mile at a time. Did you abandon your entire family, Dom? Like, where is everybody? Also, Chevelles don't do great in the desert.
You're like, Mia's not there. Jesse's dead. Like you just left Mia with Jesse's dead body. So sure, that's
and then
fine.
the other thing is when you see him in later movies, everyone's there now. They never explain how that happened, how everybody escaped police custody, because you know damn well, even if Brian let him get away, his superiors are going to be like, okay, we're getting the rest of them.
Yeah, dude, there's one Honda Civic in the middle of a fucking desert on a one-lane road. Like they're not getting away.
They left evidence with their blood on it. And we get one more job fucking rule song that's about the Fast and the Furious. Like this was the height of his career.
Yes, we had Ja Rule's peak recorded perfectly at that moment.
And then they just they like low key replaced Ja Rule with Ludacris in the other movies, which was way better, I will say.
Yes,
right. And now with our Blue Corner movie, Point Break opens on the sexiest Keanu Reeves shot I've ever seen. Just dripping wet in the rain, and gets 100% on his FBI gun course, I guess.
Yeah, I guess it's his like the licensing you need to like carry a firearm is probably he's like young, so I'm guessing he's like just getting into the force or something at this point.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it looks super lax too. He's just wearing jeans and a t-shirt and chewing gum, sitting on the hood of his car.
Yeah. We interpose this with like sweet surfing scenes, which is just like I want to say like a tenth of the runtime of this movie is just sweet surfing scenes.
They are sweet surfing scenes too, but yeah. And then we meet Dr. Cox, who's in charge of this FBI unit, and I love him in this movie, dude. Every time he's on screen,
he's in full angry fucking chief mode. It's great.
Yeah, he's great at it. So, and he's like kind of like a purist almost. He's like, I know you were top 2% at Quantico, but here you know less than nothing. Because if you knew nothing, at least you know something. But you don't even know that. And he's like, yes, sir.
Yeah, it's like, do you smoke? No. Do you drink? No. It's a good one. Clean bodies and minds.
He says, sir, I take the skin off chicken. Excellent. And then he says all that and then proceeds to eat a donut in front of him.
Yep.
And that's when he says, oh, boy, you are a ray of sunshine, aren't you? He's like young, dumb, and full of cum. And then I had to look up this stat and see if it was real because it seemed insane. But he says, welcome to the bank robbery capital of the world. 1,322 last year in L.A. County. Just L.A. County. Up 26% from the year before. And I was like, that's 3 to 4 banks robbed every day in one county. And he says, we nailed over 1,000 of them because we do good data. And I had to go look it up, and that was fucking real back then.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, dude, back even in '91, man, if like they didn't see your face or get your plates on security cameras, you were gone. Like there
Well,
was like no tracking you.
and it was so central to LA County that LA County made up like 50% of all the robberies in the world.
Yeah,
And then enter Gary Busey. He comes in on him doing swim training. He's like,
yeah. I guess it's to like if like you lose your weapon in like a dark water or something to like get it back. But yeah, it's some esoteric fucking training.
he makes a good point though, but it's funny because he's got a blindfold on him. He's like, 2 bricks at the pool, go get him. He's like, no idea what a blind man fetching a brick off the bottom of a pool has to do with being an agent. He says, plus they assigned me some QB punk, Johnny Unitas or some shit. And then Johnny's standing there and he goes, the shit they pull, huh? And he's like, exactly. Wait a minute.
Yes, and also yeah, we find out his name is Johnny Utah from Ohio.
It's beautiful. I love that name. And then one of my favorite lines from this movie that I say constantly in real life. We said it all the time when I worked at the steel factory or at Denny's, where we see the robbery starting with the ex-president's mask going on. And he goes, the little hand says it's time to rock and roll. And then they kick the doors open. We used to say that all the time when our shifts would start.
Yeah, it's great. It's this robbery between 4 guys in like presidential masking. It's like LBJ, Kennedy, Nixon, and
Carter.
Reagan. Oh, Carter.
Or Reagan's one of them, yeah. I don't remember
Reagan.
now.
Yeah, but anyways, yeah. But it's great because as they're robbing the place, they do the voices.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Even as they leave, he does the, I am not a crook. He says, we're implementing our own personal plan of deregulation now, Mr. President. It's great. And then he moons the camera. What does his ass cheek say again?
Thank you.
Thank you, yeah. And then they cut from that to Johnny and Pappas looking at the security footage. And they're like, 27 banks in 3 years, in and out in 90 seconds. Nobody ever gets shot. Nobody ever goes for the vault. And then these other 2 agents are like, tell the kid your theory on the ex-presidents. And he doesn't yet.
Yeah, they start making all these like weird references. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Hey,
And, they say,
bro. Yeah.
yeah. And it's like, oh, we found the getaway car in Mulholland Drive. It's yet again, just, yeah. He should work in Mulholland Drive. Yeah.
And I've seen shots from where they go look at this car in plenty of other movies. Even that I recognize. That shot over the city. Yeah. I also love that, Johnny immediately volunteers to go work the drop car, which pisses Pappas the fuck off. I like that he says, are you through yet, Mr. Wizard? While Johnny's looking through the car. And I love that because he uses that same line in The Matrix. Keanu Reeves does. And he says, I need an exit, Mr. Wizard. He gets him to explain his theory. Yeah, they yell at each other for a little bit. He tries to piss off Pappas. He's like, you feel alive? And he's like, yeah, good. Then tell me your theory. And then it cuts to them somewhere else.
Yeah, and like basically he's like, so yeah, I kept finding wax at the scenes of the crimes, and it's like, and like basically an expert on wax, and fucking it's like this one kind of wax, it's in everything, but mostly it's in this, and he brings out 6 wax for your stick.
And also the tan lines on his ass cheeks.
yes, and the ass tan line.
Which is also how he puts it together later.
Yeah, no, it's totally. It's just like, I recognize that ass. And basically he's like, look, you're kind of young and fit, so you can probably go like infiltrate this group of surfers that I think it might be.
He says they only do it during the summer. And then they both do a Bill and Ted. Whoa!
Yep.
And then, he's buying a board. He's like, why can't I just walk around with it and act stoned? And he's like, they're like a tribe. You have to actually get out there. How hard can it be? And I'm like, oh,
and he's
brother.
Like buying, and he's like buying the fucking surfboard like in a suit. It's like the most fucking conspicuous thing ever. And he tries to surf and immediately almost dies.
Accurate. Same exact thing happened to me.
No, like I used to be pretty good at boogie boarding when I was younger, and then like I went and like at 34, like I can still do this, and tried and just almost died.
Yeah, it's scary as shit the first time you get pushed underwater by a wave like that. I only briefly tried to surf, but pretty similar experience. Except for a hot tomboy didn't come save me out of the water.
Yeah. Then he's saved by his love interest, Tyler.
Yeah, she says, you got no business here whatsoever. Get the fuck out of here. And then he just kind of stalks her for a little bit and watches her shower and put on her clothes and then gets her plate number. And it's kind of
creepy,
inhumane how they get there in here because he's kind of a psychopath.
Yeah, he like looks her up and it's like, Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, her parents are dead. It's like, I can use that.
Yeah.
And basically goes to where she works yet again. This is Neptune's Net, the same place that fucking Brian and Dom had their wonderful shrimp lunch together. And he also orders the shrimp here.
Yeah.
And and he just basically like kind of works and it's like, oh, my parents died in a car crash and I just want to learn how to surf to get like a hold of my life and do something I wanted instead of what they wanted.
And she
Just
eats
like,
it the fuck up.
oh, she's just like, I'm instantly attracted to you. Let's go surf right now.
Yeah. And then a montage of doing pop-ups on the beach while people laugh at him. And he figures it out within a couple hours. And I'm like, bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, but I don't know. He is the one. So, I mean.
Sure. That's hilarious.
But he like comes out of the Matrix, like, I know how to surf. And that was just all that was just him learning how to surf.
That would be awesome. Somebody should do a cut of this movie where you randomly cut in the Matrix to watch the entirety of Point Break and then come back to the Matrix.
I'm like, also skydive for some reason. That would seem kind of unrelated. But anyways.
And then enter Bodhi, aka Bodhisattva. Apparently that's Buddhist for like awakened one or something.
Yep.
And
super up his own ass. It's great.
Yeah, he is. She's like narrating him surfing and says he's a modern savage, a real searcher looking for the ultimate ride. I'm like, who fucking introduces somebody like that?
I guess we find out later, they were a couple, so I guess maybe he split
Yeah, but
up
it
with
also
her or
kind of
something.
seemed like the hippy dippy, we all just kind of fuck when we feel like it thing. Like, didn't seem like they had like a connection or anything.
It's like a bit of a commune. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, he goes out and he meets the dudes and just like kind of instantly gets like brought into their group.
Yeah. And then they play beach football.
Yes.
They're kind of getting along, and then they all get really, really mad when Johnny tackles the shit out of Bodhi into the ocean. And they're like, that was a little over the line, man. What the fuck is wrong with you? And then Bodhi's like, cool it. Don't you know who this is? Ohio Buckeye, Rose Bowl champ, beat USC, Johnny Utah quarterback. And they're like, Johnny Utah. I'm like, you tell me all these surfers are this involved in college football?
Yeah, which I guess, like, it's good he said he was who he says he was, because, like, otherwise be like, wait a minute, that's not, you're Johnny Utah. Be like,
right.
Oh, shit.
Which is kind of a good cover if you're, like, famous for being a quarterback, probably the least likely person to suspect for being an undercover FBI agent a couple years after you won the Rose Bowl.
Yeah. It's like, let's send Angelina Jolie undercover for this one. It's just be like,
Right. Yeah, he says he's a lawyer now. And they're like, lawyers don't surf. And Bodhi's like, this one does. And then cut to, this one is hands down my favorite line part of this movie. They're getting screamed at by Dr. Cox because he walks in like beach clothing and carrying a surfboard, and then they're getting screamed at.
Oh, he's like instantly like, this is me now. Like, it's just like he's like talking like that. Like, it's like I remember watching this and just like, what if we had like an entire precinct of undercover cops who just like completely lost the point? Like, there's a construction worker cop, there's like a rock star cop, a surfer cop,
biker cop, yeah.
Yeah. And like there's like one cop, but like he's an undercover cop from like another precinct being undercover at this precinct.
That's awesome.
And it's just a guy like who's been stabbed trying to get help and just like can't find anyone. I'm like, doctor, help me. I'm actually undercover at the hospital and I'm not a doctor.
He's like, yes, the surfboard bothers me. You bother me. Over 2 weeks, you produce squat and they've robbed 2 more banks. You have anything remotely productive to tell me? Says, I caught my first tube this morning, sir. Yeah. Love that part.
It's like, I was expecting a whoa at any minute after that. Like, everything he says past this point, you'd be like, whoa, at the end of it.
And he seems like kind of proud of himself, but also like, eat shit, you motherfucker. Like, there's a little bit of sneer at the end of it. And then, yeah, Pops is like, why don't you just leave it in the car? He's like, I can't shut the door when it's in there.
And then we just cut to them on the beach, and they're just, like, ripping hair out of random people.
Because they analyze the surfboard, and he's like, if you take a hair sample, there's, like, a specific mix of arsenic and something else in my hair. So if we go find somebody else's hair that matches this, we'll know what beach they surf. And it'll bug the shit. He's like, you buying this? He's like, nope, but it'll bug the shit out of Harp. That part I was laughing my dick off when Gary Busey's on the beach, walks up in flip-flops, and there's 2 guys smoking weed under a towel.
Which, yeah, I never realized how blatantly obvious that was. I thought it was being slick back in the day, but I guess not.
Yeah, it's a cloud coming out of the towel. He walks up and he shows his badge. And like, isn't this entrapment? He's like, not exactly. And then just cuts off a piece of his hair. He goes, I'm making a wig for my girlfriend, and then runs away.
Which I think that was just them recording Gary Busey, I think.
It was hilarious.
Yeah, he has the best excuses in this. He said, yeah, there's great barrels and Point Breaks. I'm like, this is the thing.
Yeah. It shows Papa's watching Johnny surf from the car. A guy knocks Utah off his board and then punches him and cuts the cord and says, politeness counts, asshole. Go back to the valley. And I swear to God, every fucking movie I've seen with surfing in California, I hear go back to the valley.
Yeah, there's definitely a bit of a rivalry between us valley folks and the beachgoers. Then like the townies coming out to their fucking...
It's like Lords of
slice of
Dogtown. They
land.
say that 1 billion times. I love that
Yep.
movie. He comes over the radio and says, Angelo, I've eaten shit 47 times and gotten my lights punched out. And he says, there's 20 dudes here with ponytails. And then he goes to the showers where Papas can't see him anymore. And then the guy from earlier, plus Anthony fucking Kiedis, comes up. I always forget Anthony Kiedis is in this movie. And my God, does he suck at acting.
Yeah.
Such a weird thing to throw in this movie. But the mean mug him turn off the shower and he's like, let me guess, this is where you tell me locals rule and yuppie insects like me shouldn't be here. And then they like do this weird hive mind speak. And he goes, no. And then Anthony Kiedis goes, that would be a waste of time. And then the next guy goes, we're just going to fuck you up. And then they get their asses beat for a little bit by just Keanu.
They try, but yeah, he just fucking goes the one all over their asses and just fucking beats them off. And, well, sorry, beats them up.
Beats them off in the showers, no big deal.
Yeah. Just 4 dudes in Keanu in the showers.
It would sell.
No, but then Bodhi, Gary Busey sees this one place and starts trying to run over to help, but then fucking Bodhi, Patrick Swayze fucking sees it first. Who
yeah,
has
he says,
this
back
only
off,
the
War Child, he's with me. And I'm like, what a line.
War Child. Yeah, and only the second bluest eyes tonight.
You're right. And he pulls out his sick ass Roadhouse karate. Like,
yeah.
Only Patrick Swayze fights like this. He's doing all these kicks and fucking, yeah, it's fucking hilarious.
And we find out shortly later that these are Nazi surfers, apparently.
Right. Yeah. He gives this whole speech about how they, they never got the spiritual side of the sea. It's a state of mind. He's like, saw you back there. You didn't back down an inch. Why don't you come to a party at my house tonight? And then they get I called them the red hot Nazi dicks plates. They get their plates and a dress. They got a rap sheet a mile long, and then they go stake it out. They talk about how they want to go big wave riding. It's the ultimate rush. Bodhi says something about a 50-year storm is coming next year in Australia. That will be the biggest surf, and I will be there.
Yeah, and someone's like, we feel like it's like a big wave's better than sex, and she's like, you're not doing it right then.
Yeah. She even at a certain point is like, all right, this is too much testosterone for me. Gets up and leaves. She says, I hope you're not, Johnny goes with her. She's like, I hope you're not buying into that shit. You got that kamikaze look in your eye, and he sees it, and he'll take you past the edge. And then they walk in right there, and he's like, he's got his own demons he's fighting, Tyler. The vibe is so
You don't know anything
weird.
about this man?
Right.
Yeah, it's weirdly sinister. It's just like, have I walked into a cult?
Exactly.
I'm not sure.
It feels, that's what it feels like. They're like, back off of him. He's mine. He's going to be part of our shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go night surfing, and
Which so goddamn dangerous.
right. And this is where the ADR is at its peak because you can't hear each other when you surf like this. And they do so many lines. And I'm just picturing Patrick Swayze and Keanu Reeves in a booth ad-libbing lines like, whoa, I'm fucking surfing.
We actually do get a Keanu, whoa, like unironically here. It's great. Tyler's like, let's have some alone time. And they go down and they make the grievous mistake that we only make once, that is beach sex.
I do like when they're sitting and talking on the surfboards out on the water. You can tell it's actually cold because her whole lip is shaking the whole time.
Freezing her ass off. Yeah, like, let's go in next to the fire. Yeah, but yeah, no, it's just, yet again, don't have sex on the beach. It's sand is bad for
I've had
everything.
lake beach sex, and that was awful.
Yeah, no. Yeah, imagine that, but just like more wind.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds terrible. But he waits up late for work, and he shows up, and they're like, I can't believe you're late to your own raid. I'm like, again, why is he here? They even say, we want you in the hedges so that nobody blows your cover. I'm like, don't have him here then. Have a different person.
Need to be. Pick any other cop ever.
And he's not wearing a mask or nothing.
No, and he's like right up on the fucking window. And also, second time he's peeping on a woman.
Yeah. A lot of titties here, a lot of tweakers. God, it made me sick seeing all because they did the tweakers well in this movie.
Yes.
Papa's is doing the whole looking for his dog thing again.
Yeah, he comes up and they're instantly like, we're going to shoot this guy. Just like instantly suspicious before they have any right to be.
Ketis is laying on his bed with headphones, just tweaking so hard he's just punching the bed while he's laying there. And, it's exhausting. He tries to tell them that they're getting guns, like they know we're here, but they can't hear him over the lawnmower. I'm like, you could have just turned to the guy, shown a badge, shut the fucking lawnmower off, and then went over the radio.
Like, didn't have to say anything. Point the badge and point away. Like, no.
Right. Also, this guy has zero situational awareness. It's a long time before he's like, oh, stuff is happening?
Yeah. And, oh, God. Also, we do get to see the wonderful combination of beer and Cheerios while we're watching the fucking
so
tweakers.
Nasty. And that's the DEA agent that did that.
Yeah. God, I mean, like, the undercovers in this fucking world, they go hard. Like, they go deep. You know, the guy in his head is just like, God damn it, I have to do this because fucking crackhead Ricky fucking eats this cereal fucking beer.
I wonder how many undercover agents are like, I love this though. Like, oh no, I have to do cocaine for 3 months for my job.
Damn.
That sucks. But they have a crazy gunfight. There's a part where one of the agents tackles a guy over a table and it looks like he actually fucked himself up because he smashes his face into the sink while he tackles him. Anthony Kiedis shoots his own foot. And there's a naked chick stabbing everyone.
Uses like one of the naked chicks is like a human shield for a second too. Like straight up like Austin Powers is like I don't know, it looks like he's saving her, but it also kind of looks like he's just like using her as fucking cover.
That naked chick was the most lethal person in the house for a minute.
Oh yeah, she took out a motherfucker. Yeah.
She beats the shit out of Johnny.
Yeah, and then we get, in my opinion, one of the most disappointing scenes in cinema history, where they're knocked out the window, fucking Johnny and like one of the fucking Nazis, and they're fighting on the fucking front lawn, and the fucking lawnmower gets fucking tipped up, and just both of them are just like right next to it, and we don't get the payoff.
Yeah, he just shoves the knife into it, and I'm like, come on, dude. Like, maybe like, again, don't that was a ratings thing where they were like, we can't chop his face up with a lawnmower because then it'll be unable to be shown in theaters. I don't know, but that was big massive blue balls.
If James Cameron can make The Frighteners, which has like a whole fucking
true
lawnmower scene in it,
I don't know,
or even fucking what was it? Maximum Overdrive has a fucking like fucked up lawnmower scene in it. I just want my lawnmower more. It's
and it was like an old school lawnmower too, so it would have looked even cooler.
I know, it was one of the rotary ones. Like I wanted to see his face become salami real bad. Like
fucking bullshit. And then I like the line Papas has when he pulls up to arrest him and points a gun at his face. It says, "Speaking to the microphone, Squid Brain."
You know he was working on that one for a while. He was rehearsing that in the car.
Then we get our Tom Sizemore cameo. He was a guy eating beard Cheerios, and he was a DEA agent undercover. And he's like, tell me how they were robbing banks when they were wherever the fuck they were 3 months.
Lancaster,
for 3 months. Like, yeah. But I love the random Tom Sizemore. And he was young as fuck. Like, he looks like a totally different person here.
Yeah, I think we cut to the next day, and Keanu Reeves still has his high school alarm clock.
It's a really annoying alarm clock, too.
I know. I groaned when I saw it. Like, oh, dude, like, you just fucking went down like 3 cool notches in my book. I'm sorry, but
yeah, he's laying there
football
with Tyler, and Bodhi just shows up, says, 5 foot walls at zeros, let's go. And as soon as they get there, sees dude's butt cheeks, and just has this, those are the butt cheeks. And Tyler's like, are you okay? And he was like, I forgot I have a huge client, and just leaves. And I'm like, massive red flags. I don't give a fuck how cool you are with these guys now. They would be so paranoid. They'd be like, what the fuck was that about?
Yeah, no, it's like you looked like you saw a ghost. I'm like, I saw something almost as pale.
Yeah, this is where he's telling Papas, he's like, I trailed them all day. They go here, there. They go to Tower Records for CDs, and they have lunch at Patrick's Roadhouse. Wink, wink. Then they go back to the beach house, pack up. Summer's over. They got to pick up some traveling money. So tomorrow we'll be at the bank. And this is another. When I worked at Denny's, I had this guy that called. People said I looked like Keanu Reeves, and so he called me Utah, and I called him Bodhi, and he looked nothing like Bodhi. I just did it to be nice, but
he's watching this right now. He's just like, oh.
He should know he doesn't look like Bodhi. But he always would say this line where they're sitting there, and he's like, time for lunch. They got really good meatball sandwiches around the corner, and then he goes, Utah, get me 2. He used to say that to me all the time.
Yeah, and I will say they do look like some good meatball subs.
They do, bro. I was starving. I love a good meatball sub. And when I saw
they looked like perfectly sloppy, but still had the consistency. They wouldn't disintegrate in your hand. Yeah, no, this, yeah.
He even talks shit. I think he fucks up his line, and Gary Busey talks shit because he comes up and says, yours is the one that looks like a roadkill. He's like, a roadkill?
And oh, yeah, while this is happening, like the fucking dead president gang just like pulls up behind them like while they're just looking the wrong way at sandwiches and just
Yeah. As soon as he gets in the
pulls
car,
in.
he's like, you watch that Lincoln pull up? And he's like, Lincoln? Fuck! Never gets to eat the sandwich.
I know, it makes me so sad in movies when like they fucking order something, sit down, then like fucking like, we have to go now. Put the steak.
Utah shoots at the Lincoln. They start chasing him. They crash, and then the Lincoln hits a spike strip. And then Utah's chasing on foot. They go up to the weirdest gas station I've ever seen.
Yeah, and start like he like, well, I mean, it's smart at first. He torches the car, which is smart. That'll fucking
sure, but then he goes like super pyro with it, and won't
then
stop.
he's just like, wee. Like throws gas in the dude and tells him to run, and everyone's like, come on, come on, come on, come on,
and that's Bodhi, like, right? Like Bodhi getting weird with the fire.
He's just like playing with like a super soaker. Like there's not fucking time critical shit going on here.
It's so weird. And they get in another car. Johnny shows up, and they leave. And Johnny tackles him before he can get in the car. Papa starts shooting, and then Utah starts chasing Bodhi. And I didn't remember this, but they like as soon as they start going down an alley, you see a massive explosion in the background. Like the whole fucking gas station went up.
Yeah, a really good foot chase like through the back alleys and through houses and stuff. And Bodhi thinks he loses him for a second when he like dips into a fucking house, but Keanu just like fucking goes straight through the window.
No fucking chance Utah should be able to keep up with him because he goes around so many corners and then inside of houses. And I'm like, how do you know he went in there? How do you know he went over that fence? How do you know? Like, bullshit. But
I mean, like when there's like like moving plants or like the fucking gates down, fine. But there's a point like he should have fucking been gone.
Yeah.
And
there's even a part where he throws a pit bull at him, and Utah kicks it.
Well, he throws the pit bull and he kicks it like it's like makes like it's like 2 pounds. Yeah, they end up in the LA Wash, which is basically
the iconic scene. I was going to ask you, is that what the LA River is, or is that something else?
Yep.
Okay.
That's the LA River. It's just basically like, dude, I literally like 40 seconds that way. Like is the LA River. Like
I've driven through it many times in Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yes, yeah. It's basically the LA open air sewer, and every year when it rains, some dumbass gets the idea to fucking get an inner tube and go on it, and gets rescued by the fucking police.
Ew.
Yep.
But this is one of the most iconic scenes from the movies. Utah jumps down a fence, busts his knee. He references a knee injury earlier in the movie.
Yep, which comes back a lot, too. Like, that knee fucks him up a bunch of times.
And then, he has a shot on Bodhi. Bodhi looks back. They make eye contact for a minute. Bodhi has to recognize him at this point.
Yeah.
And then, instead of shooting him, points his gun up in the air and just shoots and screams. Unloads the clip.
I want to see the scene. So, like, 3 civilians were hit at the Promenade Mall. You want to talk about that, Johnny?
Yeah, totally not cool. You could have shot it into the water or something, like into the concrete next to him. The next scene is, they got nothing. And Pappas is like, listen, when you shoot, you don't miss. He's like, I miss. He's like, no, you were either scared or you're too close to your buddy, and I don't believe you're scared. It says, go back and sleep it off, basically. And then...
Yep.
His first move is to go hook up with Tyler again. Like, dude's like,
blind to her face.
Your cover should be, you gotta know your cover's blown. And it should be any second now that Tyler's gonna find out. Why is your first move? I get you're in love with her, but don't be dumb. He tells her it was a hit and run that fucked him up. And she's like, look, it looks like you really want to tell me something, but you can't. He's like, it would really affect things between us. She's like, men are so bad at this. Just say it another time. I'm like, oh, man, she thought he was going to say, I love you. You suck, Johnny.
Yep.
And then shows Bodhi and the gang talking about how they should have killed him. He's like, no, all this does is up the stakes. And he's like, this isn't a game for us, man.
Yeah, no, but Bodhi, we get this point, like, Bodhi thinks he's some kind of fucking, like, pseudo Robin Hood kind of figure, like, fucking
They're just taking the money for them, though. Like,
yeah, no, it's totally, like, this fucking, like, justification he's made to himself that he actually believes, which is insane, but...
Yeah, he says it was us against it's always been about us against the system. We show those people in their metal coffins on the freeway that the human spirit is still alive. He always has kind of a southern accent, too, which throws me off. But he says, don't worry, I know what to do. And then Johnny wakes up to bullets in the pillow next to him.
Yeah. And Tyler's pissed.
And looking hot, too. She's wearing his button-down shirt, and that's it. Tastefully covering up her shit. But she's like, I bet you lied about everything. She's like, I bet you lied about your parents. And then he's like, listen. And she's like, tell me the truth. Did they die? And I'm like, why is that the primary concern that you want to know the truth about right now?
Nope, they're happily married alive in Ohio.
Absolute asshole. And then He starts leaving her. She shows her ass cheeks and runs away. And then
Yep.
he starts
I mean, I
leaving a
chased
bunch
too.
of voicemails. And there's a weird line here where he goes, he's like trying over and over. And he's like, fuck, why can't I ever say what I really mean? And I'm like, what? Johnny, you are an FBI agent and your cover is blown.
And he uses a knock at the door, thinks it's Tyler, opens it, and it's the gang and Bodhi.
Yep. They're like, he says, I don't really want to surf right now. And they're like, no, this is different. You're going to love it. And I don't know, man. I think he's trying to convince himself that they don't know yet. And, oh, by the way, the reason Tyler found out was she found his badge. Forgot to mention that. Idiot.
Dumbass, dude. It should be in a safe somewhere when you're not fucking using that shit if you're fucking undercover.
Leave it at work. Bodhi starts dressing him. For some reason, it was kind of adorable to me. He's walking through his room. He's like, all right, shirt and socks and your boots. Starts grabbing all the stuff for him. Johnny's trying to low-key grab his gun. Doesn't get it. Would have been a whole different movie if he had just grabbed his goddamn gun. But then we get a sweet-ass skydiving scene where they, like, all really connect for a minute. It's really strange. But,
come hold our hand!
Yeah. He says he screwed up my knee, and he's like, don't worry about it. We're not landing on land. And I'm like, if you have a torn tendon or something in your knee, landing in water is probably worse.
Yeah. Let's put a bunch of resistance on that fucked up leg.
Now we got to swim out.
Yeah, and they do this weird, like, backpack switching thing which comes to fucking nothing. But
have you seen Robot Chicken's take on this?
No.
I cry laughing every time I see it, but it's this part. Or yeah, he's like, who packed my chute? And they're all like talking shit like, oh no, Johnny, you better take mine. No, you better take mine, Johnny. This one's bad. And then he goes, are we going to jump or jerk off? In Robot Chicken, when he says that, Patrick Swayze just stops and looks at him, and then it shows the plane door closed. That's all I think about every time I see this scene.
Oh yeah, no, like I said, just like in both these movies, the unattended like homoeroticism is like palpable.
Yeah, all their beach scenes and stuff, they're all really, shirtless, playing football, hugging, and yeah. But yeah. So are we going to jump or jerk off? And then they do a sweet skydiving scene where they're like, again, having conversations that are impossible. And he's like, this is amazing, isn't it, Johnny? And they're like all hugging and holding hands.
Oh, yeah. No, there's a point where he's like 100 feet away from them, and they're like, come on, Johnny, come over here. Like they can, like, it just be like the entire fucking time.
Yeah, really weird. They really like make you feel this vibe that they're all the best friends and they're gonna be best friends forever. Another fun fact about this: 4,000-foot jump does not take 90 seconds. Like weird.
No,
time
it's like
things
10 seconds, dude.
Yeah,
human terminal velocity is like 200 something feet a second. So like, yeah,
yeah, they're in the air for eternity. Then they start playing chicken with the ripcord. Bodhi pulls Johnny's for him, and he's like, God damn it! And then they land in the ocean, dead on the land. And he's like, Johnny, I got something really cool to show you. You got to come see it. And pulls him into the van. And he's got this weird portable TV. And this is what pisses me off. He turns it on, and it's Tyler being held hostage. Says it'll sting a bit, but it's for your own growth. And Tyler, who has been wearing shorts, jeans, dressing like a tomboy. She's got this, agency. She's a badass. She dresses badass. All of a sudden has this tiny little white dress on. I'm like, why did you need to do that?
Like camisole thing with like matching shorts and shit. And yeah, never seen wearing anything like that in the entire movie.
Yeah, I hated it. She's a total badass the whole movie, and then they just make her a nothing.
Reduced to a damsel in distress.
Horse shit. And they're like, I'm the only one that knows where she is. Rosie won't do anything as long as I'm at a place at a certain time. And he's like, I hate this, Johnny. I hate violence. I guess we now have both have the same goal to get me where I'm going. And so they get ready to rob a bank. He's like, 90 seconds of your life, Johnny. That's it. You just project strength to avoid conflict, and then they unload a shotgun and hand it to Johnny. They ditch out the masks, and they're like, don't have enough for you. And this is where you get the line where he's like, this is your fucking wake-up call, man. I am an FBI agent. I'm like, they know. What are you doing right now? And he just goes, yeah, isn't it wild?
Yeah, no, he's just like straight up a sociopath. He doesn't care about anything or have any fear of death. And they go and start doing the heist, and Johnny's going in without a mask, and it goes all according to plan. And then for some reason, fucking they go off script and says like, we're hitting the vault now too. Go hit the vault.
Yeah. And he even says, you're blowing it, man. You're breaking your own rules. And even the other guys are like, why are we doing this? And, it's really weird that he made this decision while they have Johnny with them. Like, let's just throw everything off track. I don't fucking know.
Yep. Then we cut to a couple of hostages, and turns out one's a cop, and he's like next to the security guard. And he's like, I got a gun. You got a gun? Back me up. And the security guard's like, please no.
Yeah, he's like, just let them take the money. I don't want to do this. And, put PSA for everyone. If you end up in this situation, you don't need to protect the bank.
No. The bank is insured. It will get all its money back. You will get your money back. Just no one needs to die for fucking corporate funds.
Always the dumbest thing I've seen. Why protect the bank? Anyway, yeah, he pops up and shoots Bodhi. Utah pulls his badge. It was like, I'm undercover. And he shoots him immediately.
Yep.
Cop takes a shot, and then he shoots a few of them. He gets Nixon, he gets LBJ, and then the security guard goes down. He starts reloading, and that's when Bodhi shoots the cop. Johnny has a vest on, so he's fine. He's pulling it off. And then one of their buddies, I don't remember his name. It's not Roach, and it's not Rosie. But he bleeds out and dies. And then they have this weird moment where Swayze's leaving the bank and just like side eyes Johnny as he walks past him, and Johnny's like, "You piece of shit!" Like looking at him, and then he just turns and knocks him the fuck out.
Yep.
I guess he was gonna leave him there. I don't know. But then they're arresting Johnny, which I don't fully understand the logic here.
I guess he's gone rogue, I guess, and he was part of a bank robbery technically.
I feel like that's pretty, I don't know. They could show he pulled his badge. He didn't have any ammo in the gun. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, but that's all shit you find out later. Right now, he's there at a bank robbery with a gun. Yeah.
He even shows his face. He like shoves his face in the dead cop and was like, "You feel good about this?" And says his accessory murder. One's a dead cop. Pappas is like, "Let me take him in." And then he says that, I've got so many more years of the force of you, and there's one thing you still haven't got. And then knocks him the fuck out. He goes, "Respect for your elder," and just leaves. I'm like, why aren't they arresting him now too? Like, dude, what the fuck?
I think that's why I put down. It's like, I think Harp is dead. He just like goes down onto a fucking marble floor, like with like no support. And was like, we need to get him to a hospital immediately.
As soon as they get in the car, he's like, "I know where they're going." He's like, "I figured you did," and pulls out keys. He says, "The only thing is we can't arrest or shoot them." And he's like, "What the fuck?"
Why are we going then?
They pull up and he's telling the pilot to set the altimeter to 1,000. Johnny shows up by himself, says, I'm unarmed, game's over. He said, "No, I say when it's over." And he won't tell him what Tyler is, blah, 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 blah. And then Roach comes out of the like airport place and him and Papa shoot each other.
Yep.
About here is where I'm
Papa
like,
down.
Johnny Utah is kind of a piece of shit because Pappas dies here.
Yep.
He saves Johnny one more time, and then Roach gets up to shoot him again, and he dies. And I'm like, you kind of fucking suck, dude. Like, you didn't need to do any of this. You didn't need to bring Pappas. Like, bullshit. And if you had brought your gun, if you hadn't told, I handled it all wrong.
Yeah. And Roach is bleeding pretty fucking bad, and they'll load into the plane. The pilot's like, "I ain't doing this," and it's like, gun. It's like, "Okay, I'm doing this."
Oh, and then he says, "I'm not flying you to San Felipe." And Bodhi goes, "Oh, good. Just tell him where we're going." "Well, now you have to come too," and points a gun at Utah, which is hilarious because they were not going to take him. And I'm like, yeah, Pappas didn't need to die at all. But yeah, Roach is bleeding out. Bodhi tells the pilot to get to 4,000 feet for a safe jump, and he's like, Roach is like, "Well, we'll pop up on radar. We got to get you safe." And Utah gets cold as fuck because Roach is like, "I'm cold, man." He goes, "You're cold because all the blood is flowing out of your body. You're going to be dead soon. I hope it was worth it."
Yep. And we see like Bodhi's like just like trying to like, "No, man, you're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. We're gonna go drink margaritas," and just like pushes him out of a plane with the fucking parachute on.
I know it's not supposed to be funny, but when they land, you see Rosie dead with his parachute flying in the air, and it made me laugh my fucking ass off.
All the money is fluttering away and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, they pull ripcord chicken again. Oh, first of all, he jumps out. They don't leave a chute for Johnny. And then Johnny says, "Fuck it," and jumps out of the plane. I'm like, bro, what is wrong with you?
You could have survived. Like the pilot was cool. Like he would have put you down.
You could have just been like, "I'm an FBI agent. Land over here so I can catch them." What the fuck?
Or like circle and follow that car. like anything besides jumping out of a plane.
I guess Tyler was right saying he has that kamikaze look in his eye because that was an insane move. But they play ripcord chicken again because he's like, "You can either pull it and drop your gun or we'll die."
Yep.
He pussies out, pulls it, and they pull at such a low altitude. There's no way they don't die. Zero chance.
No. Yeah.
And they land hard as fuck.
Yeah, and Johnny fucks up his knee again.
Yeah. It's exhausting, man. It made my knee hurt.
I know.
And he says, "I'm out of here, Johnny." And Johnny tries to grab him, but his knee is fucked, so he can't do anything.
Yeah, and he's still all about like this whole like sanctimonious fucking like "I'm better than thou," but then like still fucking stops to pick up the bag of fucking money as he's like going away.
Fucking horse shit like
It's not about the
morals.
money,
Like,
but I mean, the money's right here.
right. And they lose a lot of it in the air, but
Yeah.
yeah, he says, looks like you won't be getting your man this time, Johnny. I'm like, what do you mean this time? This is his first case. He sucks as an agent.
Yep.
See you in the next life. They let Tyler go. Pisses me off again. She runs over in her little dress. She's like, oh.
Also, they are in the middle of the Mexican desert. One of them is barefoot. The other has a shot knee. How the fuck did they get out of there?
Only thing I can assume is that pilot helped somehow. I don't
Yeah.
fucking know. But again, I don't like how they make her look like a poor little... I feel like she should have punched Bodhi one time before he left or something.
And then also, like, we don't hear anything from her. She just shows up, like, hugs him, and then, like, that's it for her. Like, that's,
Again, I can't stress enough how much the shot of Roach makes me laugh my dick off, though. But then we get a little epilogue here where Utah is in Australia a year later, I think. Radio's talking about one of the worst storms in Australia's history. He starts walking up to a beach, and he's like, has anybody been out there? And they're like, you'd have to be crazy. It's death on a stick out there, mate. And then he sees Bodhi watching the waves. Walks up and throws the Reagan mask down in front of him. And I hate this. This is the only time he says this in the whole movie, and it doesn't work. Because he goes, you lose something, brah?
Yeah. He's like trying too hard to be a surfer still, and it's unnecessary now.
Well, and they even, while they're going back and forth, he's like, Special Agent Utah, I knew I could count on you. Goes, I've been to every city in Mexico, came across an unclaimed piece of meat in Baja that turned out to be rosy, found a passport in Sumatra, missed you by a week in Fiji, but I knew you wouldn't miss the storm. He's like, you still surfing? He's like, every day. And I'm like, that's not possible. You just said you spent weeks in cities that don't have an ocean. And why are you surfing every day, Johnny?
Yeah. And then he cuffs him, and he's like, you got me, but could you just, like, let me go?
Yeah, they fight for a second, and then he comes up cuffed together, and a helicopter pulls up, and he's like, I told him you'd go quietly. And he's like, you know I can't live in a cage, man. He's like, I don't care. You gotta go down. Lame-ass line. He says, all right, man, I'm screwed. I'll go to jail. Johnny gets his guy. And he's like, but look, it's a once-in-a-lifetime thing. You know, I was born for this moment. And the cops are moving in. He looks at the waves, and then just grins at him for a second and uncuffs him. It says, Vaya con Dios. And then the cops come up, and whoever this guy is, I don't know if he's trying to do an Australian accent or what he was doing, but the cop that comes up is terrible. He says, what the fuck, Utah? You let him go! He says, no, I didn't. And they're like, we'll get him when he comes back in. I'm like, what is this guy? And he says, he's not coming back. And you see Bodhi get eaten by a giant fucking wave.
Yeah, like, he didn't even do good. Like, there's even, like, a moment of glory. It's just, like, instant death.
Yeah, they could have taken, like, 5 seconds to show him, like, smile as he surfs this giant wave. But no, it just shows tiny Bodhi and... And then Utah throws his badge in the ocean, and they play a sick rat song, and that's the end of the movie. And I'm like, so you looked for him for a year, went to all these different locations, found him in Australia, caught him just to quit the FBI?
Yeah. To prove a point? Like, what the fuck?
What happened in this moment did you decided? Like, you surely were on the fence about quitting the FBI for a while if you decided that in this moment you didn't need to go to Australia. Also,
like,
you probably need your badge to get back.
You're like, yeah, I'm probably going to quit. Just going to find him, and then, like, I think we'll be done. That'll be it. Don't want to do the paperwork.
The FBI is, like, pissed at him because they're sending him to all these cases where he never shows up because he's finding somewhere to surf.
He just does the Kokomo song on loop.
So funny of a line, though. Every day. No, you didn't.
No. It's just, it is this thing, like, they're trying so hard to be fucking, like, cool and badass, and I don't know if it's just because they were trying to do it in a very dated way now, and if it hit different back then, but
Maybe.
still, it's just like...
But that bra line also sends me every time I hear it.
Yeah.
You lose something, brah? All right. Well, with that, we're now going to score these movies. Each movie on a scale of 1 to 10 for 10 rounds. This is my favorite set of 10 rounds we've done so far because we were pretty much able to do a 1-for-1 comparison because they copy each other so heavily. So let's get right into it. And 1 is Undercover Cop Arc, Utah versus Brian. Which undercover journey plays better? Utah's a straight arrow FBI recruit, and Brian's LAPD point man chasing credibility through infiltration. And they both develop bonds with the main villain and everything. Which one did you like better?
I mean, arc-wise, at the end of Fast and the Furious, Paul Walker's still a cop.
True.
At the end of fucking Point Break, fucking like he is completely just become a fucking surfer bum. Like he is absorbed the fucking lifestyle, and it's like part of his vernacular and vocabulary and way of thinking and shit now. So
I also
I
like
don't
how
know.
many times he actually like has to cover for himself, like make a story for, cover up his identity and everything. I think they play more on the fact that he's an undercover agent in the Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, definitely. Because well,
Also
yeah, I mean,
feels
and,
weird
yeah,
that they fully know who Johnny Utah is.
yeah. Like I said, it's just like, yeah, let's just bring fucking Flea out of retirement and make him a fucking secret agent. It's just like people are gonna recognize Flea. Be like, what are you doing here, Flea?
Yeah, you would think also the FBI would be like, we're not going to use you for undercover missions because you're famous. Like, they would
Yeah,
be
no,
like, why would we
he
do
should
that?
be like public relations for the FBI or some shit like
Right.
that. Like, yeah, that's where they put him. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. Does Paul Walker's character really have an arc in Fast and
Mm,
Furious though? Like,
I mean,
does he?
he shows up to the raid for the trans. He's trying to. That's the other thing. He's like solo, trying to go sneak into these warehouses and get information for arrests and stuff, and like doing actual cop shit. And Johnny goes on the raid, but that was with everybody. I don't know. I just didn't. Unless he's with Papas, it doesn't feel like Johnny does a lot of cop shit or has a lot of cop instincts.
Yeah,
And Paul Walker, to the point that they say you move like a cop when he's sneaking into that building and everything. Um, I don't know.
yeah. Just I don't know. I would just say that like, if the question is arc specifically, Johnny ends up in a way fucking different place than he started in.
True.
Because at the beginning he's like kind of uptight and fucking it's like I take the skin off my chicken, sir, and fucking like super playbook. By the end he's like miss something, brah. So like he's really fucking changed as like fucking a person, but like not necessarily for the better. But whereas
Yeah.
Paul, I guess he's learned about family, but like I don't know if that's like a lot of
Well, he
fucking
does end up marrying Mia and then becoming part of a crime family, but that's not in
yeah, but
this movie.
that's not in this movie though. Yeah, I guess maybe that can be it because this one is like because Point Break is a self-contained thing. We have this like complete arc, whereas with Fast and the Furious, it's just a story that develops over fucking 9 goddamn movies, so we don't get to see as much character travel for fucking Brian
I'll
as we
also
do
say it
just
kind
to
of
see.
seemed like Brian just immediately wanted to be part of this, like very
Yeah,
little hesitation. Whereas Utah's like, can't I just walk around and act like a stoner? Why do I need to do this? Like, we don't get to see
yeah.
any of them telling him he's going undercover and shit.
No, he's just there and
Right.
seems really enthusiastic. And like, this is what he kind of like, I don't know, just with his skills and he knows mechanics and shit already. This seems like he was just something he was doing
Yeah,
already.
we
So,
don't really get to see ever like he was an agent that did this, and this, and then he goes. You know what I mean? Like, see
yeah.
very little of him out. You don't ever see him outside of this undercover position because he's already in it when we come into the movie. So yeah, I guess it's a little bit better of an arc for Johnny Utah when you see the beginning of his career started. He's like just an FBI agent and then has to learn
Yeah.
to be a surfer.
And then at a point that just completely
You
takes
really
over
only
his
see
entire
him
personality.
practicing in a parking lot in the Fast and the Furious, and then he's
Yeah.
good at racing all of a sudden.
Yeah, and even that he was like doing that for like the guy he was working for. So
Right.
yeah, it's yeah, it's a little weird.
So what, like 9-8 here?
Yeah, because I mean, again, they both have a journey. I just think because it also takes place in one movie that Keanu has to arc a little further and a little harder.
Right. Okie dokie, that's gonna take us into round 2. Crew leader / messiah figure, Bodhi versus Dom. Who commands the stronger devotion? We have Bodhi, the Zen outlaw, spiritual surf philosopher, freedom guru. Dom, the family first tactician, stoic patriarch, street ethics enforcer.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard because I feel like Bodhi is so much of a product of his time when it was like that whole fucking like new age revival in the 90s and shit. And like now you can just see he's like so far up his own ass he's fucking finding sunlight on the other side, but fucking like
Yeah,
it
he's
like
very Charlie Manson culty vibes.
yeah, like he thinks he's like God's gift to something and like he has all the answers and what he's doing is above the law because it's got this like moral fucking center to it. And
Which ends up
like
being
I
his
get it.
downfall. But yeah, he pretty much commands his little group there by being seeming like he's untouchable, like he is a
Yeah, it's like
godlike figure.
quasi, religious fucking thing going on where,
And
where it
Dom, as
feels like,
cliche as it sounds, is pure family. Like they all love each
yeah,
other truly. Like she gives that little speech at dinner where she's like, this person needed a home, and then she needed a home, and Dom just takes care of everybody. It's a
yeah,
definite
so like
loyalty that Bodhi did not
yeah,
have from his guys.
it's corny, but it's earnest.
Right.
Whereas, I don't feel like there was. I mean, I guess Bodhi did believe his own bullshit, but like I doubt that everyone else did. Like
No,
I
they
feel like
don't.
they
They
were,
they are like,
yeah,
this was never a game for us, dude. And like, they call him out when he wants to go into the vault. I mean, he starts falling apart on his own fucking
rules
rhetoric.
and philosophy. Yeah, at the
And
end, he's like, no killing, and no one ever dies, and we have more violence and all this shit. But he's like, well, you're also saying you're gonna grape and kill a woman if he doesn't comply, and
yeah,
yeah, 'cause, I mean, well, at the end of the day, they're painted as two very different characters because, like Bodhi is like just a straight up villain. I would want to
mhm.
say by the end of Point Break,
His
whereas
main
like
focus is
Dom is,
definitely the money, and Dom, to a fault, is like, I'm going to protect my guys. Like when he's mid
yeah,
arrest, like you're getting arrested, he's like, no, I gotta go save Jesse. I'll fucking kill you.
exactly. Yeah, so I think just like based on that, I think Dom is the better leader
Agreed.
because like because Bodhi is just like once the pressure's on, he fucking cracks and like betrays all of his fucking principles and shit. When the pressure's on for Dom, he's like family.
Yeah. I will say, when you exclude this from the rest of the franchise, I don't hate the family stuff in this movie because it's not so fucking harped
Yeah, no,
on.
like I said, he never says family. Like I keep doing family, but like
Yeah.
it's implied. It's just shown through actions, not
Yeah, their little
said
dinner
through
scene,
words.
it's the only time it's been done so far in the franchise, so
Yep.
it hits different. The fact that Vince comes back and is just like, like a wounded puppy to him, and he's still like, I still love you, sit down and eat.
Yeah,
Like,
I want some chicken.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
And when he comes in and nobody came to help him and he starts yelling, they're all like, oh, like, please don't hate me.
Yeah, it's like the kids who fucking like, why is the chicken not thawed and sitting on the counter? Oh shit! I
Literally,
forgot.
Letty's sitting there playing a video game on her belly, like, oh. Yeah, I definitely like Dom better in this. If I had to say who's going to command the better forces versus each other,
Yeah,
Dom's guys are gonna die fighting for him,
yeah.
and Bodhi's guys are gonna be like, "Why are we fucking doing this?"
Yeah, well, like you said, once like the shooting started happening, they were just like, yeah, and fucking started scattering, and that's when fucking everyone
Yeah,
died. But yeah,
maybe Roach was like the most loyal one to
yeah,
Bodhi because to the
and then
end.
even at the end, like fucking Rosie and him got in a fucking knife fight in Mexico and fucking killed Rosie. So it's like, yeah, apparently the loyalty was not all there.
So that one going to Fast and Furious, tied so far, going into
Yep,
round
yep.
3. Romance as access. Tyler versus Mia. Does the romance work as both cover and emotional conflict? Tyler is the outlier and confident, connects Utah to Bodhi's inner circle. Mia is the inside track to Dom's world and moral compass.
Yeah, it's weird because they both lie, but on different ends of the spectrum. Johnny tells her exactly who he is, but then lies about like his parents to fucking like be all sociopathic and get in. Whereas I guess Paul tells the truth about who he was, but then
Yeah.
lies like or lies about who he is, but tells the truth about his. I don't know. It's weird.
It's hard to find any like real emotion just from these two movies because you get they both have the classic scene where I'm in everything I said, and then there's
Yeah,
even a part where Brian says like when she's like Dom's like a gravity hole, everyone's just drawn to him. He's like, oh, the only reason I'm here is for you, which is a lie
yep.
because the only reason he
Yeah,
was ever there was to
it's
watch
for
Dom.
Dom. Yeah.
So I
Yeah,
don't
because
know.
at the beginning of the movie, you think he's like, oh, he's really interested in her, and that's what kind of brought us. Nope, it was just a total cover to fucking. Yeah, both of them just fucking use these women as tools to fucking get towards the dude that they actually
Right.
really want.
And I'll say, outside of the end, I like Tyler better. She's way more involved in the movie, and she's a total badass.
Yeah,
And
Mia's kind of a prize to be won, as fucked up as it is. Like, I guess she helps a little bit at the end, but like in like the whole like she takes over the driving for a second, but
sure,
yeah, like it's
she has a lot more.
gets,
Tyler has a lot more agency in the movie. Yeah, I think I just like Tyler better. Other than the end, I really hate what they did at the end there.
yeah,
And he definitely
yeah.
needed. I feel like he needed Tyler more than Brian needed Dom because that wasn't the
Yeah.
reason he gets in with them. It's because he goes and races and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird because yeah, like I said, I like Tyler better as a character. Like you said, she has more agency, but I think the movie really fumbles the fucking ball with like the last 20 minutes with her.
It does.
And
But again,
yeah,
romance as access. You did not need Mia for access to Dom and them. He
no.
goes and races, and then he saves Dom. That's his in. That's how he gets in with them. But zero shot that Johnny would be involved with them if it wasn't for Tyler teaching him to surf and then meeting Bodhi because of Tyler.
Yep.
So it serves the plot more with Tyler for sure. So I think I would go Point Break here.
Yeah, probably.
I'm gonna give it an 8 though because of how shitty they end that story.
Yeah.
So 7 to Fast and Furious. That takes us into round 4. Bromance and loyalty conflict. Who nails the emotional meltdown? Utah and Bodhi. These are crazy. Existential seduction, shared thrill seeking. Brian and Dom, mutual respect, shared coded emotional restraint. The real climax isn't the chase; it's the choice.
Yeah, it's yeah, like I said, man, there's a lot of like we could edit like 2 minutes of content into this and make it a romance.
Oh, yeah.
It's not, it wouldn't be hard.
It feels
Especially
like
with
they
AI
get
nowadays.
tighter in the Fast and Furious than they do in Point Break because they're constantly surrounded by goons, his
Yeah.
goons. And in Point Break, they got, they're going to lunch together. There's a part where they're inside of the hood of the car together, just like two
Yeah.
boys in a tub, just like what you're doing tonight.
Yeah, there's like little date at Neptune's net, and just like you said, like there's like some points where just like all up into his face, like kiss him. Just,
Yeah.
there's yeah, and I mean
And
also
even
just
the
like
ending, like they got the eye contact and like they're like saying stuff without saying it. And by the end of Point Break, it's more like I fucking hate you.
yeah, fuck you. I hope you die in a fucking freak ocean accident, you piece of shit.
That'd be
Yeah,
awesome.
no, the bromance is dead at the end of fucking Point Break. Like it's just like, no, I'm gonna go watch you die. Have fun, motherfucker.
Yeah, most of the time it seems like there's an underlying sense of fear with Johnny and Bodhi. Like he's not like it never really feels like he's getting super close to him. It feels like he's getting it's more just him being accepted into the gang. But the bromance is real in Fast and Furious. And it was real in real life. So I gotta go 10 here for Fast and Furious's bromance.
Yeah.
That borders on homoeroticism.
Yeah, Bodhi even seems more like interested or fascinated with Johnny, not so much. Yeah,
he looks at him like something to play with. Like he can act like a cult leader.
Shiny
Like
new toy.
I can pull this thing out of you that you didn't know you had. Yeah. So we're tied again, going into round 5. Stunt and set pieces. Racing versus the surfing and skydiving. Which adrenaline delivery system hits harder? You got the street races, truck heists, nitrous, LA heat. Point Break has surfing, skydiving, mass robberies, and foot chases.
It's hard, man, because like I will say, like there's a decent bit of CGI in Fast and the Furious.
Yeah.
Like they pull some shit sometimes, especially in some like the more insane maneuvers and stuff. But fucking Point Break is just fucking people doing the goddamn thing, and a dude with a camera the size of a fucking boombox on his shoulder, fucking like skydiving next to him, fucking getting all that shit.
Right.
Like it's
they
insane.
evolved the action better as Fast and Furious went on, but for the most part in this movie, they're driving down straight fucking roads. There's not a whole lot of like skidding around curves and driving through alleyways and shit like that. I mean, the scenes with the trucks are kind of cool when they're doing the harpoons and jumping onto it and shit.
That's
and driving under the semi, that was dope.
Yeah.
But like the races are pretty fucking, they just have to exaggerate the shit out of it.
Here's the races.
And I do like the nitrous oxide shots through the car and everything, but
yeah, but it very much has the feeling of we need to make this interesting somehow.
Exactly. Which they did, but
yes,
super unrealistically. But yeah, the skydiving in Point Break is fucking amazing.
Yeah. Like I said, even the surfing shots for 91, dude, like they're fucking taking film cameras out of the goddamn ocean and filming this shit. It's insane.
Yeah, and then the whole chase scene, I think is I don't know. I thought it was cooler. The on foot chasing, the explosion, the flamethrower at the gas station. As far as set pieces go, they're pretty much the same set pieces. The cars are cool. I like looking at the cars in the movie. They're
they're getting a little dated at this point, though, where it's like, oh, yeah, I see those in junkyards now. Shit.
Yeah, as far as which one felt more adrenaline packed, I think just on the skydiving scene alone, Point Break would win that one.
Oh, I mean, yeah, you get fucking Keanu Reeves diving with a fucking Magnum revolver and no parachute. I mean, that's about as high as you can get.
Right. And the fact that we know that they did that shit for real makes it a lot cooler.
Yes. To me, yeah. Just whenever I see like again, like fuck Tom Cruise because he's an asshole, but fucking he can make a good goddamn movie.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he is the movie star. But yeah, that one going to Point Break, taking us into round 6. Code of Honor / Criminal Ethos. Who has the more compelling worldview? Dom has family, loyalty, territorial justice. Bodhi has freedom, spiritual rush, ego through enlightenment, but it's also all bullshit. So
yeah, that's I think just on that coin right there, like I think fucking Dom wins this one just because like he actually fucking walks the walk as he talks the talk. Where Bodhi's like fucking like love, peace, freedom. And, oh, my friend's shot. Okay, fuck all that shit. Bye.
Well, and here's the thing: even if he earnestly believed what he's saying, it's so vague and so bullshitty to begin with that I'm just like, what do you even? You think you're inspiring people by robbing banks? They're not thinking about you for more than 5 seconds beyond the news story that comes on TV.
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, he's just like on this like fucking he's on this pseudo enlightenment bullshit, and like you said, he believes it until the fucking rubber hits the road, and he's like, "Oh, my entire philosophy is not working." Okay, well, I'm gonna take the money and run. Whereas, yeah, Dom the entire time is like family, but this but family, but you family.
Hey, he never really even says like I have a code or anything like that. He's just like, I take care of my people. Like I take care of the people I love.
Everyone knows his code without him saying what his code is. That's how strong his code is.
He's just a badass racer, and him and his people defend each other viciously, and that's it. He never gives any culty leader speeches to the gang where like, all these people know we're a family and we do this and this and they know about us. It's just like, you fuck with Jesse, I'll kill you.
Come get some chicken. Like that.
Yeah. I would go 10 fucking 5 here because he's so flaky Bodhi. About his own bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Back to a tie again. Going into round 7, the wrong bad guys.
We're going.
Yeah, exactly. Round 7 is the wrong bad guys or the red herring crews. This was a fun little one that they both had. It's crazy, the one-for-ones in these movies. How well does each film handle the misidentification? So you got the arrest on Johnny Tran's crew. Turns out being nothing. Point Break, you had the red-hot Nazi surfers. They both do the same thing. Early bust goes wrong. They fuck it up. They can't really get them on anything.
I mean, I'll give the Nazis. At least I knew they were Nazis. I didn't know exactly what Jimmy Tran's. I didn't know if he was Triad. I didn't know if he was Yakuza. I didn't know.
Yeah, I just assumed Yakuza, but they never say that.
Yeah, they never say if he's from like where he's from, or like what kind of like mob he's in, or anything like that. Like I said, the only thing we ever see is he's eating in a Taiwanese restaurant at one point. So, and I think that's the restaurant they keep going to. So I'm assuming he's Taiwanese, but I'm not sure.
Well, and then it turns out he's like barely even they have to be actual criminals because they're talking about a fence for stolen engines and shit, but they don't catch him on that. And
no. They have some guns and they do drive-bys and shit, but yeah, it's just...
There's more character to the Nazi surfers. The fact that it's Anthony Kiedis is hilarious, but it just feels a little more unique than random Asian crew on crotch rockets and
the tweaker energy, like they fucking like they got the crack house vibe, like immaculate.
Yes, they did. Yeah, Anthony Kiedis laying on his bed just tweaking the fuck out was fucking hilarious. And Tom Sizemore makes it cooler. They didn't really have that in the bus for Johnny Tran. Yeah, I would definitely give this to Point Break. They're just more unique. I don't know. Seemed kind of generic, the one with Johnny Tran.
Yeah, it was definitely more like a villain than like... Because Johnny Tran was like his asshole meter varied throughout the fucking film, like how big of a dick he was. It wasn't consistent. He wasn't getting more of an asshole. Like, kind of went back and forth, and the Nazis were just like dicks from the second that they showed up on screen till the second they left.
And they barely justify the bust. The bust is just... You never even see Honda Civics. They barely had any evidence to go bust them. At least in Point Break, they're like, they have a fucking super long rap sheet. They would absolutely go rob banks. So yeah, that one going to Point Break, taking us into round 8. The Chase and the Choice. Which film executes the undercover crisis moment more powerfully? So you got the foot chase, then he can't shoot, shoots into the gun, or shoots into the sky. And then the whole ending thing where he lets them get away. And then Fast and Furious, you have the reveal to Mia. The medevac for Vince, where Dom gets the truth, and then the race at the end to where he decides to give him his car and let him leave.
I don't know. I mean, narratively, I feel Point Break has a bit more weight to it, just because yet again it kind of comes in the middle of the movie more and like has things that build up after it. But
I disagree on this one. I think they make more of a moment when Dom realizes he's a cop. They don't make a moment where he immediately has a plan, goes full cult leader mode, and he has a, backup plan. We're taking your girl hostage and shit. And it feels more like betrayal in the Fast and Furious than it does in Point Break to me. Like Dom looks like he feels hurt. And then he lets him get away. He doesn't let him go die. That's the other thing. I like that he's like, take my fucking car and leave forever. Like, I don't know. I like it better.
Yeah, I guess I feel like the end of Fast and Furious is a bit chopped up. Like it's kind of like, and then this happens, and this happens, and this happens, and this happens. Whereas I feel like Point Break is more of a flow narratively. Like
until they cut to a year later and say all this stuff happened off screen.
I guess that's true. Yeah. I guess I'll give it to Fast and Furious, because the other is that,
I just like that.
All this cool shit happened that you don't get to see.
Like, I actually believed in you and like loved you, and I can't believe you're a cop now. And then, we don't really get a. He probably feels nothing. Bodhi probably feels nothing about realizing he's a cop.
Bro, I won. Ha
ha. And then I don't know why he kept doing this banter as if Johnny Utah was some renowned agent. Like, Johnny's not going to get his guy. And then at the end, he's like, Johnny gets his guy. Like, he's horrible. He's arrested nobody.
He's wasted so much police time and resources. I mean, maybe not as much as fucking Paul Walker did, but the cars, but still.
Right. Hold on. I wait, before I close this round. The foot chase versus the train getaway.
I'd say the foot chase is better, personally.
Yeah, because the chase is half of this. Deciding to let him get away, the chase is definitely better in Point Break. I think that was like kind of my thought,
change my
mind on this one.
Yeah, because that's what I was saying. It's kind of disconnected. Like, we have like the whole fucking thing on like that long ass straight road, and then like we come back, and then there's like there's like the drive-by, and then we solve that, and then we instantly go into like the drag race. It's more fragmented. Like you said, it's like this happens, and then this happens, and this happens. Whereas Point Break is just like that entire chase scene into the fucking through the alleys
with the gas station exploding. That was
yeah.
So for the chase, I would go Point Break on that one. The next round is more. Round 9 is the undercover reveal. For that one, I like it better than Fast and Furious.
Well, it's because they keep it a secret from us for a while. Because we like in Point Break, we know from the get go that fucking Johnny is an FBI agent here to fuck the entire group. Whereas in Fast and Furious, if you don't know, it's the first time seeing it. Like, there's a point where it's like, this feels set up, man. It's like, that was too coordinated. There's someone like fucking stitching on us. Like, who's that?
It's like 20 minutes in with the fake pullover. That's the first time you find out he's a cop.
Yeah, no clues before that or anything. So it's just like, I'll give them that. It's like narratively way more satisfying to go, like the character been following us.
Well, and then when Dom, like I said, when Dom finds out, his reaction feels more. It's more entertaining to me than eyeballs through a mask in Point Break. And then like I said, all in all, he probably doesn't give a fuck because he's a cult leader and just wants money.
He's just recalculating in his head. Like, okay, well, let's do information.
He even says,
this
just ups the stakes. Like, basically, this just makes it more fun for me. He's a psychopath. But yeah, that takes us into round 10. Final verdict, gut check. Strip away imitators, franchises, memes, and nostalgia. Which one still hits the bloodstream?
I don't know, man. I think I felt more entertained in Fast and the Furious because there's a lot less like downtime.
I agree.
In it.
I didn't think I was going to go this way when we picked this episode at all, but I don't know. It might just be that I've seen Point Break so many times.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But there's so many surfing scenes and scenes where it just slows down.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking, like I said, it's a 2-hour movie, and I feel like you could cut like 15-20 minutes out of it, no problem.
As corny as this sounds, I feel like Dom having love in his heart makes it more of an entertaining movie for me than Bodhi is essentially a sociopath.
Yeah, and fucking kind of Johnny too. He's like using the fuck out of fucking God damn, I can't remember the name.
Right, Tyler, yeah.
Yeah,
When he
Tyler. Yeah,
immediately
it's
is like,
a
her
boy's
parents
name.
are dead. Oh, I can use that. And I'm like, God damn,
Yeah,
son.
yeah, and he's like fucking like perving on her and stuff, and it's just there's just like this like kind of like cold cynicism to the whole thing, and just kind of greasy. Whereas like fucking Dom is actually family, like, and he fucking means it.
Yeah. And again, it's not something he ever has to say. He's just showing it with his actions. Like, literally, Brian's standing there with a gun at his face, like, it's over. This is over. And he's like, no, fuck you. I'm going to save
Yep.
Jesse. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
I would
just
agree on Fast and
get
Furious
a
for that one.
warmer vibe. It's more fun.
It is more fun. It's a lot
Yeah.
more nostalgia factors in the Fast and Furious. There's very little in Point Break that was like, oh, that's so 90s. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And fucking 2000s threw up Fast and Furious, dude. The fucking
Oh, yeah.
DVD players being the pivot point in the movie. The
Fucking
stupid ass boots Michelle Rodriguez is wearing, the wraparound
computers
shades.
and floppy disks and just everything. The music, fucking ludicrous, or not ludicrous, fucking
So we're ending in a tie here. So we can either let it end in a tie or pick a tiebreaker around it.
You know what? Weirdly enough, for these movies, I feel ending in a tie is appropriate.
That's kind of where I'm at. Because I handpicked each
movie.
fucking round for this, and I can't think of a single thing to compare that they both did that I haven't already done. Like, we could compare who has the better, like, fighting, but that doesn't really feel that important to these movies. Yeah.
Man, explosions. There's cool explosions in both of them. It's just they're in the same movie.
Yeah.
So I feel like a tie is appropriate.
Yeah. So for the first time in Flick Fight's history, we're ending in a tie here, and I can't wait for somebody to actually watch the rounds all the way through and get angry about this. But this week it is a tie. You have no winner. Go fuck yourself. There's no closure.
Yeah. Our show, our rules. Sorry, Nick.
But if any episode was going to end in a tie, it has to be this one.
Yeah.
But with that, there's going to be no wheel spin because my birthday next week, so I get to pick the episode. But before we tell you about that, we're going to do some trivia and Easter eggs. So I can start with the Fast and Furious ones. Neither Michelle Rodriguez nor Jordana Brewster had driver's licenses or even learner's permits before the production of this film. Which is funny because you barely ever see them drive, so that's fine.
Yeah, makes sense.
Paul Walker and Matt Scholes, Vince, carefully choreographed the fight scene outside the grocery store, but when it came time to shoot, it didn't feel right, so they just improvised. So some of those punches and painfulness might have been real because they didn't plan any of that. First straight race scene is supposedly a quarter-mile race, taking me approximately 10 seconds. However, the race takes almost 2 minutes of screen times and shows the vehicles driving in excess of 150 miles per hour, faster than even the 1,200 horsepower Bugatti can accomplish a quarter mile.
Yeah, let me tell you, on Los Angeles streets, you ain't hitting those speeds without fucking losing a fucking wheel.
Yeah, going 150 miles and hit the biggest pothole on earth.
No, there is a stamp on the fucking road outside of my fucking house that says like fucking like 1923 fucking on it. Like
Mark Wahlberg, Christian Bale, and Eminem were all considered for the role of Brian O'Connor before Paul Walker was cast. I would hate this movie if it was Mark Wahlberg. I might tell you that right now.
Would kind of love it if it was Eminem, though.
Maybe. Christian Bale would have been weird, honestly. I can't believe he was ever up for this.
Too serious.
Mark Wahlberg, maybe he could have replaced Dom, but I cannot do Paul Walker replacement. He's the best. And then there are over 15,000 individual sound effects in the first street race. 15,000 in one race.
Michelle Rodriguez's car like growls like a lion at one point. So like fucking there's all kinds of shit mixed in there.
And finally, working titles for the movie included Racer X, Red Line, and Race Wars. Terrible.
Yeah, well the first one, fucking Speed Racer would have sued your asses, and the last one, I imagine someone's got to be like, wait, seriously, we're doing what?
That wouldn't have made any sense. Racer X, Red Line, sure. Race Wars, lame. Like,
yeah. Also, we're gonna name the whole movie of this thing that takes place at the 2/3 mark and is there for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
All right, on to Point Break information. Patrick Swayze was an accomplished skydiver, took part in the big skydiving scene. He made 55 jumps in total, and production had to tell him to stop because of their insurance. The film was originally called Johnny Utah when Keanu Reeves was cast in the title role, which, yet again, No.
Yeah.
That sounds like a fucking cowboy film.
It
Johnny
does. That's
Utah.
exactly what I thought. It sounds like a spaghetti western.
I'm just saying, man, it's like you can't be named after a state, man. It's like if I tell you Johnny California, Johnny Montana, and Johnny Texas, those are three very different men. You have very specific images in
And
your
they
head of.
are bank robbers.
Yes. Yeah, but the studios in the title said very little about the surfing, and by the time Patrick Swayze was cast, the film had been renamed Riders in the Storm after the famous song by The Doors. However, the lyrics had nothing to do with the film, so that title was also rejected, and it was not until halfway through the filming Point Break became the film's title because of its relevance to surfing.
I love that.
Makes sense.
The song had nothing to do with the movie, so they like, no shit. What?
Dude, there was this someone was on cocaine in the writers' room.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh, what about Riders in the Storm? I heard that yesterday. That'd be a good fucking title.
And it's not even in the movie. If the song was in the movie,
No.
maybe.
2 months before filming, Keanu Reeves, Patrick Swayze, and Roy Pitty trained with former world-class professional surfers Dennis Jarvis on Kauai, Hawaii. Patrick Swayze participated in skydiving as a hobby. Oh, yeah, was told to stop for insurance purposes. There we go. Yep, that's okay. They made him stop by pretty much offering to let him have one on-screen skydive. So, guess they got all that shit that he was talking like in one shot, which is impressive. 20th Century Fox had plans for a sequel to the film, but to be released in summer of '93, but scrapped the project. Johnny Utah became an FBI agent after a knee injury, and his football career parallels real actors.
Yeah, it summarized that a bit, but I don't remember what that was now. It
They
was something
did,
about Patrick Swayze was also supposed to be something, and he had a knee injury that ended that career. Like everyone had a knee injury that ended some previous career in real life.
I could have been Patrick Swayze until I took an air.
Keanu Reeves was a big hockey player and was going to be a college hockey player. Got a knee injury and decided to act instead. Also, one I didn't include, he went and trained with college football players to look like he was a quarterback, and he did so good in this and then The Replacements, where he plays a quarterback, that the Baltimore Ravens offered him a walk-on tryout, and he was like, nah, I'm good with acting.
There's some weird alternate universes where Keanu Reeves is like a bunch of different sports stars.
Oh, yeah. That's hilarious, though. Can you imagine the state of your franchise that you're like, we offered a QB position to Keanu Reeves, and they're like, you fucking what? But with that, as I said, no wheel spin this week. It's my birthday next week, and for my episode, I have chosen Mortal Kombat versus Street Fighter, the original ones, for the record. Obviously, the new one's not out yet, but I'm not doing Annihilation or the new Mortal Kombat. This is the OG. Shang Tsung has died since this movie, so it'll be even more heavy. And then, what's his fucking name? Jean-Claude Van Damme in Street Fighter. Peak these video game corny, horrible graphics.
Yes.
Fucking
Well,
punk.
Julia is fucking oh god, what's his name again? I can't remember the main villain's name.
Bison.
Bison, yes, and Bison.
It's gonna be a fun one. They're both full of corny, terrible lines, and I can't wait. I watched Mortal Kombat literally every day when I was like 4 years old.
That explains a lot.
I would copy a lot of things. I was such a weird little kid. Like the part where he wakes up from the nightmare about Shang Tsung killing his brother, and he's all covered in sweat, just goes like into the camera. I would like do that when I woke up in the morning because I thought that was like a cool way to wake up.
And just your dad around the corner. Like, I'm getting the holy water.
I would also try to do the cool like flip from the ground onto your feet.
Yeah, they kept up.
Yeah.
There was a brief period in my early 20s where I could do that.
Yeah,
Very
I could
brief.
do it when I was 16, and no fucking shot I could do that now.
Yeah, no, I can hear my knees clicking just thinking about that now.
So there you have it. We're going to have a video game corny fest next week. Apparently, we're just going to keep doing bad movies for our birthdays, but not nearly the extent Nick did.
No, I like my movies like people like their fucking blue cheese is strong.
You might actually had box office numbers, so...
Yeah.
But with that, this weekend's in a tie for the very first time in Flick Fight's history. Again, please like and subscribe. Please share the episode. Please comment on matchup. If you have a movie you'd like to see matched up against a Neil Breen movie, let us know what it might be. And follow us on TikTok and Instagram. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Devin Vestal.
I'm Nick Nye.
And thanks for watching.
See you next time.